stunning and brave statement to put out there.
What's that?
I think there might be too many video games. I think there might be such a thing as too many video games. I feel like I've been watching trailers for 4 days straight, and I feel like the big fat guy in Monty Python, where I'm just like, I couldn't watch another trailer. Like, but sir, it's wafer thin. And,
I'm thinking of that Simpsons where Abe is sending that letter. There were too many.
Yes.
Please remove some.
Yes, and you know what? That preface can mean only one thing. It's Summer Games Fest 2025. It's time for the big ass podcast. We're going over as much Summer Games Fest 2025 as we can right here on the RageSelect podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
Yeah, and no time for what you watched or anything. We don't
have time for it.
We got like six shows. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, you know what? I say that every time, and then it's like, no, don't hurry too fast. So like, Michael, what were your feelings about Summer Games Fest this year? Summer Game Fest this year?
Mostly forgettable for the most part. I was kind of bored after a while, because I just wasn't excited about anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as in like, oh, I hated everything I saw. I'm just not feeling most of what's shown, because some of them was stuff we'd already seen.
Yeah.
Stuff we knew that was definitely coming out already, like in a very short amount of time, like Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
Or stuff that you were just like, well, if you're going to show it, can I have more than whatever it is you're showing me at this exact moment?
Right.
Type of thing. And then a few like really big surprises that made me happy.
Yeah,
but it was in a 2-hour show where these trailers are maybe 2 minutes. That's not a lot.
Well, not just 1 2-hour show, but like Saturday there were like 5 or 6 different
there was a lot
showcases. They were like overlapping each other. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel the same way. I feel like there wasn't. You know what I think it is. You know what I think has really been damaging Summer Games Fest, and I think I felt this a little bit last year, is the fact that Sony and Nintendo aren't part of it. Like, it used to be that between Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, and then back in the day we got Ubisoft, Konami, sometimes a Capcom thing, and then in between it was a bigger event.
Yeah, it was everybody who was the big studios, the big companies. It was a free-for-all. It was like watching a versus match of them all, and it became like a sports thing. We're like, who won?
Right,
the conferences.
Everybody was trying to stand out. Everybody was trying to like get the most like applause.
So it's like a person being like, ladies and gentlemen, Keanu Reeves, and he would pop up and he'd be like, games, and everybody's like, he won.
Yeah.
And then
here's a car. There's a car on
Jamie
stage.
Kennedy would show up and everybody would try to kill him. That sort of thing.
Yeah,
but it's not a thing anymore.
Was it the Schick Hydrobot? Was that on one of the? Was that from E3?
I don't remember.
Guy with the big razor head.
Vaguely, I remember Aisha Tyler. All kinds of celebrities.
Ubisoft, yeah.
But now the celebrities are like there for maybe 5 seconds, and they're like, I gotta go. Get McDonald's breakfast of champions or whatever, and just leaves.
Oh god, yeah. We're not talking about the IO interactive panel where poor Mads Mikkelsen had to sit between a bunch of nerds for like 45 minutes.
I felt so bad for that guy.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There's some good stuff in here. We're gonna mine. I think I've kind of streamlined things a little bit this year. I've got like 5 spreadsheets. And by the way, if people on the Discord want these, make that patreon.com/RageSelect. If you want to get access to my giant list of everything that I watched. I'm missing like 3 shows, but for the most part, I've got like these.
Yeah, there's
like
too many shows, guys.
Multi-page spreadsheets full of just trailers and game names and descriptions and stuff. So
let us know in the comments the things that you think we missed.
Yeah,
and then we'll not talk about it later.
And then we'll go shut up
because this is the past.
That's right. Okay. Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley is out here. He's got his fucking shoes on. What color are Jeff Keighley's shoes, Michael?
Jeff Keighley colored. I wasn't paying attention to the
Somebody
shoes.
said they were like brown, and I thought they were yellow, but
I can't tell from here.
Brain gets scrambled from time to time. Okay, we'll keep up with his shoes over the course of
it looks yellow from here.
Looks yellow to me, but you know.
Maybe it's blue and black. I don't know.
But then somebody said his suit was blue, and I was like, his suit was gray to me.
That suit is gray as shit.
I don't know. It could just be my monitor settings are all fucked up, but I did think it was interesting. Yeah, in the beginning, he came out to say that like most of the big top selling Steam games right now are indie games, and the fact that Schedule 1 is behind Jeff Keighley at the Summer Game Festival, and I'm like, oh shit.
That was really funny. He's like, these are the top games.
Yeah.
Well, how funny would it have been if a hentai game was on the top and he had to be like, look at this indie game.
Look at all these wonderful indie games. Oh, you can bang a maid.
Sluts Poker, everybody's favorite indie game.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go pretty quick through some of these things. We started with the kind of creepy crazy. It was funny because I had the thought in my head that I knew what I always try to call the trailer within the first like 5 seconds. I'm just like, what is it? And I thought like, oh man, you know what? This looks a lot like Mortal Shell. It can't be Mortal Shell. It's Mortal Shell 2, actually.
They showed the default shell, essentially. I was like, oh, this is Mortal Shell. The problem was I forgot what the name was.
Right.
I was like, it's that Soulsy-like game, but it's a sequel to that. Forgetting what it was called.
Yeah, I mean, this looks as good as Mortal Shell 1. Like, it's all like creepy and dark and weird, and it's got like H.R. Giger, Lovecraftian strangeoids in it. And
yeah, and it looks like it's got a few more shells.
People with fucked up faces.
And some guns.
Really brutal, just, stop hitting yourself moves and stuff. So...
I'm glad it did well though, because I remember you liking it for the most part.
I did. I beat it. I don't know if there's like DLC or anything. I do know y'all might want to check online that one of the folks in the Discord let me know that it's on sale on Steam for $150,
which is crazy.
So I don't know if it's still doing that. Also, Michael, I just want to take 1 second to say that when I was watching this, there's one suit of armor in this game that is the most goddamn caked up suit of ass.
Okay,
armor.
so I'm not the only one who thought that. Okay.
Look at the ass on that armor, man. That thing is out there.
That was my first thought when I saw it. I'm like, oh, they got a caked up armor.
Like I've never seen armor that's like a thong. It's like a metal thong into a metal butt crack. Like I don't think there's any way this armor could ever exist in the real world, or else it would just chop your butt into like
it's the kind
slivers. But
it's the kind of armor you can't crouch with because your ass claps will give away yourself either way.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just was watching this and I was like, whoa, hold on a second there, pal.
I was like, oh god, that's an interesting one.
But yeah, the Mortal Shell 2. I mean, looks great to me. This was actually a good one to start with because I was like, well,
this is what made me excited for it originally. I'm like, Mortal Shell 2, that's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what else you guys got.
A sequel to a weird game where you get to hit a snail and your booty cheeks are all out there.
I was like, this was really cool.
Yeah.
And then the next thing they showed was
Chronicles Medieval.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it wasn't even that. It was this is a Star Wars thing.
All I have on my list is the trailers.
Like a day later.
Oh, and then Hideo Kojima came out.
Which was fine, but the problem was, he's like, look, this game comes out in like 2-3 weeks.
Dude, did you watch the Death Stranding 2 panel? We're not even going to cover it.
No, you told me about it. Yeah.
It's just like they just keep asking him stuff, and he's like, I'm not going to talk about that. And then they're just like, Wood Kid, where did you get the inspiration for your music? And I'm like, I don't care. And then even here they showed just like one of the scenes of this guy in an office, like talking to a lady.
Yeah.
Like it's not even somebody walking. He's not even walking, Michael. He's sitting. What the fuck?
I was kind of laughing because he pulls the cigarettes out and he's like, no smoking. I'm like, did he hide those in his stomach? Where did he get those?
He procured those on site.
Yeah.
He choked out the receptionist.
But it's got like a lot of mystery to it. But the thing again is it comes down to the fact that he's like, look, Mads Mikkelsen's isn't in this game. I missed my bro.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to like, it's Tom Hardy announcing this one, if I remember correctly.
Was that Tom Hardy announcing this?
There was a trailer where it's just Tom Hardy. I think it was this one.
Oh,
because the lady goes like, this trailer like announced by Tom Hardy, and it was Tom Hardy with this monologue about like war and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks okay. And then it's revealed to be, I think, like an RTS or some shit.
It looks like I don't know. It looks like, I think it's like a strategy game, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just one of these like, hey, look at all of this bullshit happening in a medieval nighttime. Like,
yeah, but like it looks kind of cool at first, but then once I kind of realized what it was, like it wasn't an action-y type game. Like it wasn't even the way like Kingdom Come Deliverance was,
right?
Type thing. I was like, oh, well, I have no interest in this, but I have a friend who definitely would have interest in this.
I don't even know if it's not like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I haven't seen any gameplay. I mean, like they showed the whole thing, but I don't know. Like I was just hoping that it was going to turn into a trailer for Kingmakers. That it was going to like, and then like as they went to do the thing, a dude in a pickup truck with a machine gun on it would like.
Well, I think this
drive
is supposed
by.
to be like the type of gameplay look on it.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's like a quick thing.
But like it's so fast. I don't know. It's I'd maybe see more of it. Medieval fantasy doesn't, or medieval action doesn't go that far for me, so I'm kind of like, meh, whatever.
I don't know. I'm not interested the way I thought I would be.
Yeah.
Who knows?
From there we got Sonic Cross Worlds, my favorite game.
My friend actually really likes this game. I was surprised by this.
I saw there was a news story about like it's also got Hatsune Miku and Ichiban from Yakuza, and like SpongeBob SquarePants is in this game as well. Like there's I don't know.
Well, my favorite thing was the shade that was thrown
and
by
Mario
the developer
Kart
right after that, where it goes like, unlike some fucking Mario or some kart racers,
Right.
this is crossplay.
Yeah.
He's just like, fuck you, Mario. I'm coming for your ass. It's like, what's happening?
Nobody's coming for Mario.
I was like, dude, Mario Kart just came out like a day ago.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry, Sonic, but you know this rivalry was decided.
Yeah, you've been dead in a ditch for a while, dude.
Also, Joker is in there from Persona 5, so huzzah. Let's see. After that,
the Minecraft thing
at the very end.
Yeah.
After that, this is another one that I was like, I thought I knew it. I thought I knew it when I saw these fucking dark waifus bebopping around being crazy guys with like hearts and shit.
Well, I saw that it was like a Souls-like thing, but the guy was anime as fuck. And I'm like, oh, this is Code Vein, isn't it?
Yeah, and you would be right, because it's Code Vein 2, which is actually launching, I believe, like this September. I don't have the release dates for all this stuff, but there was a lot of it. Oh, no, next year. So...
it just doesn't have a giant tittied person the way the last one did.
Well, it doesn't have a protagonist that has so much crap on them that you can't even understand what you're looking at.
But I always remember the gigantically huge tracts of land lady.
Sure.
That was your like partner or whatever. To the point where it was just like, am I supposed to be able to play this game?
Yeah, she had like the Russian hat on.
Yeah, it was really weird. But now you have one who has the absence of tracts of land.
Yeah, but also like thunder thighs, like also some like straight up Chun-Li legs on this lady. Like, my God, the hips.
Yeah, and I know people like Code Vein quite a bit, so I'm sure they'll like this game fine.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really show anything outside of a little cinematic trailer. And I don't know enough about Code Vein to understand what the significance of what's happening, or if there even is any.
Well, it seems to be like a time travel thing, where it's just like, oh, if you fuck up the future, everything's fucked by this one thing or something.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. It could go, who knows? We won't really know until the game starts to come out.
Too many Souls-likes. Just get out of here with that bullshit. Like,
everything's a Souls-like.
Bring me back some of them third-person Devil May Cry action games.
That's true. That's what I need.
But
I need that in my life.
Big ass monsters. I mean, it looks good. Like, nothing wrong with the way that it looks. It's just, it's one of those. What's that Monster Hunter spinoff with all the weird techno monsters that was like a PSP game?
You mean the ripoff one?
Yeah.
The Sokoden? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Which one?
Sokoden?
I don't remember. All I know is, I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
There's a few of them. That's the thing. There's a couple of those rip-off ones. But they're always like, oh, we're like Monster Hunter, but cooler. And then you play it, and you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's like, we're going to probably have, I don't know, 10 to 12 games in this list that are just like anime AF bullshit. Like, and that's
literally
kind of where this is. I mean, it's like higher up on the tier of anime AF bullshit. I got to tell you, from there, we got to End of Abyss. I like this one.
This one was fine. This one was really cool. I like the atmosphere that it's going for.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's trying to like overly sell itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like, it's something different. So it's kind of this like top down, and you're like a little kid with a gun and a scanner, and there's like monsters and stuff.
Yeah, it's got like a Dead Space vibe.
Yeah, a little bit, but kind of a very different angle, like this kind of top-down angle.
And the monsters are really creative too.
Yeah, and it's very dark. It's like simple, but it's using like the kind of the lights and the shadows in a very good way. Lots of good monsters. Some good horror stuff this year. But yeah, this is one that I'm actually pretty excited for.
I'm very interested in this one.
It's also Epic Publishing, I guess, which is on a few different things this time around. So
yeah, I mean, some of these just aren't going to be on Steam right away. Basically, is the idea.
Yeah. Let's see. For there, we found out that Troy Baker's going to be in Mouse PI.
The second they were like, we're going to tell you who's the voice, I'm like, I bet you it's fucking Troy Baker.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Troy Baker. I was like, of course it's fucking Troy Baker. Everybody's Troy Baker now. You're Troy Baker.
I'm Troy Baker.
That's how good of a voice actor he is.
He's doing Jeff from RageSelect now. Not really much to say about Mouse PI. We all know what it is and where
looks great.
I mean, it's going to be great. So,
And you know what? I'm not giving Troy Baker that much shit. He's very, very talented.
Still no full-on release date for
He's
it,
basically
though.
just doing his Booker voice, though.
Yeah.
I think is what he's doing for that one.
Let's see after that. Michael, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to quit trying to make Game of Thrones a thing, man. I don't want to, I know that it's an expensive IP, but like that finale was too much for everyone, and everybody's got to stop trying to make Game of Thrones a thing that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in fucking Game of Thrones.
Like I told a friend 10 years ago, everyone would have lost their minds watching this trailer.
Yep.
Especially the way the trailer ends. Everyone would be like, oh my goodness, like what? It's so different. But now no one gives a shit about it.
Yeah.
People barely give a shit about the prequel that's coming out.
Game of Thrones, they're making an RTS. They're making Game of Thrones RTS where you can write your own story.
You can change the history.
Yep, and they basically have a little cutscene where Jon Snow gets turned into a White Walker. Oh,
And then like a dragon dies or something.
I don't like you just. I lost interest in Game of Thrones like 3 seasons before it crapped itself to death.
I also
Like,
laugh at the acronym for the current prequel because everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But every time they do, they say, I'm a big fan of Hot D.
Hot D. Oh,
And I'm like, no, don't say that, dude.
Yeah.
Don't stop saying that.
let's see. From there, I had another. This is an interesting trailer where I was like, now, wait a minute, hold on. This looks exactly like Atomic Heart.
That's what I was thinking.
Crazy fucking bastards didn't make another Atomic Heart, did they? There's no such that. The first one couldn't have sold well enough for them to make another Atomic Heart, right?
Apparently it did. Yes,
Yeah.
holy shit.
3D printing some whales,
And it's way different than what that first chunk was.
It's very weird. I'm really hopeful that they make it into a game that I like because I really want to like this game.
I hate it. Yeah, we tried. We desperately tried to like the first one.
I don't know. Maybe I should go back at some point and see if they balanced it out. But yeah, I mean, like take all of your Atomic Heart 1 stuff. You got the sexy robots with no face and like all kinds of just crazy imagery. There's a guy fucking sky surfing, Invisible Man.
A lot of cool shit going on in
It
this
would
trailer.
take too long to describe what happens in each shot of this trailer. It's just it's bug nuts the way that the first one was, where God damn, it makes for a hell of a montage. Like,
yeah, and they used, Don't Stop Me Now, which is like a really exciting song to play during this montage.
yeah.
And it's just to the point where I'm like, look, you fooled me once with a really cool trailer with awesome music.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can fool me twice, guys.
And then I watched it, I was like,
Look, Zoidberg told me to hold these claw covers. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm gonna wait this time.
yeah, I don't
There's
know.
a lot of fun imagery in this thing.
A lot of this looks absolutely incredible. It's all kinds of fucked up and weird and crazy. You got the like fucking puppet people and the robots and the sexy robots and non-sexy robots and half sexy robots and like shooting and jumping and driving a car and walking around. There's like a mech that has tires, but it's walking on its feet. I don't know what the heck is
so
happening
much
here.
crazy shit happening here.
I want to love you, Atomic Heart. I really do. And I'm really excited to see if this one, if they pull an Assassin's Creed 2, right?
Yeah.
Take the feedback from the first one and the diehard fans, and then throw it into a second one that's got a little bit more, a broader appeal.
I still don't know what happened in that story. I never bothered looking into it.
I didn't even understand what happened in the part of the story that we played.
Yeah.
We were there for the story, and I didn't understand what happened. Like,
It was very strange, and then what they showed after didn't make it any more sense than what we were seeing.
right. Well, yeah. Then we had the Cube, which is some kind of like
It's a spinoff to Atomic Heart.
it's an MMO like battle royale something on a giant floating cube land that like Rubik's Cube turns in the middle.
Yeah.
And like everybody's going to go over there for science and have a battle royale or an MMO or it's unclear to me exactly what is happening.
Yeah, because there's like monsters and stuff, so it's like, is this supposed to be an MMO, or is it like
maybe it's extraction shooter?
I can't really tell.
I don't know. I can't decide whether it's an MMO. I mean, if it's like a first-person MMO shooter, I guess maybe. We don't really have that many.
Because there's a guy on the that looks like a giant pigeon that just like knocks a guy out with the bat.
Yep.
And then that shot.
Going all up into somebody's crotchel.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know what the cube is. But it's
from the Atomic Universe.
The Atomic Universe. Like every time I watch one of these, I'm like, like I can't tell what's going to happen next in any of this, anything related to the Atomic Heart universe. Like
the fact that it's already a universe now is kind of strange to me, but sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that
franchise is moving fast nowadays.
That's a thing. I didn't have this on my list. I had this somewhere else. They announced She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon for Marvel. What's it called?
Cosmic Invasion.
Cosmic Invasion. The beat 'em up that Michael and I are both incredibly excited for. And
they made She-Hulk so fucking buff.
They really did. Yeah.
I was like, hot damn.
They really did. And if history is anything to go by, you and I will end up beating this in like 3 episodes.
Probably, yeah. But it looks amazing. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, looks great.
I'm still very excited for this.
And there's
still plenty of characters to announce.
Big buff She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon. What's not to love? What the fuck? I think my whole list got messed up. Okay. Because... okay, never mind. Well, I guess we'll just go in order then. Onimusha. We got a trailer for the new Onimusha.
It looks great.
It continues to look very,
I'm not
very
sure
good.
what else to say about it other than that, because it's always been looking really good.
Well, we got a little bit more. We got more gameplay this time. I think last time it was more cinematic than anything else. But
that's true, and you see a lot more of the other weapons too.
Yeah, some more kind of boss stuff. I don't know, like if Capcom keeps bringing back franchises, I'm glad they did this one, because it's one that we haven't seen in quite a while, and it looks great. I mean, RE Engine still holds up and looks fantastic.
Yeah, Samurai games are back, guys. And Capcom fucking was like, wait, we've been holding on to the one for a bit too long here. So he's finally back.
They heard that Neo 3 was going to be a thing, and they were like, I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that shit.
Oh, that's the reason we got Ishin.
Oh, Like a Dragon.
Yeah, Ishin Heroes, because Ghost of Tsushima did so well.
How did my notes get all out of order? That pissing me off.
Power of Magic or whatever.
I don't know, yeah. Now I'm not going to know where we are or what we're doing. So, yeah. Okay, well, now we're back on. Next up, we got Felt That Boxing.
This looks crazy.
This looks like a really interesting... It's like Unreal Engine puppets with like pretty realistic looking fur, and it's like a boxing game where you play as an orphan Muppet that is learning how to box. And it looks like the boxing sections look like Punch Out. I guess.
I think the idea is that it's supposed to be a Punch Out game with puppets.
Yeah,
and like, because some of it feels like actual Muppet work that they probably rigged, and then some of it's like clearly like animated, but really, really well animated.
Yeah, they all move like Muppets, which is nice.
There's only like one shot where I'm like, okay, that's definitely like full on animation, type of thing, which is the this one right here, because of the way that blue monster looks. But then every now and then it cuts to like a shot like this that looks so much like a normal Muppet.
Yeah.
That I'm like, God damn, I'm so impressed by this thing.
The only thing that's keeping me back from this being like my favorite thing that I've seen is that somebody did point out that like the design of these characters looks so much like if you ask Midjourney to make you something as a Muppet, right? Like,
yeah, but I feel like that's more just like trying to be generic enough to not get sued.
Yeah, maybe. But it's a great name. It's a great concept. I will be interested in seeing what's going on. I love the way that the punches feel like somebody whipping their arm back and forth, like in the Muppet.
I really am excited to see what they full on get, because the little gameplay we got doesn't feel like full gameplay sometimes. Yeah. So I'm excited to see if it really does look like that, because even the times it shows looks really cool.
Yeah. No, it does. It looks it's such an original concept, and I'm such a sucker for Yeah, man, just give me something that I haven't played before.
Yeah.
Don't give me another Souls game with a ninja in it. No offense, Onimusha.
Also, we haven't had Punch-Out in a long time, so I'm all for it.
That's true. There's been a couple of Punch-Out-ish games, but not actual. They were like games that kind of use that language, but were like a medieval fantasy type of thing.
Yeah.
So, let's see. From there, okay, we're back on my
Killer Inn, I think was this
back
called?
on my schedule. Killer Inn, the social deduction mystery. There's wolves and there's sheep, and you've got to figure out who the killer is. But it's like a Among Us, but as a third-person action game.
Well, it's like an Among Us Clue, basically.
Yeah.
Because unlike the other ones, it's all about like just accusing each other of shit.
Right.
But there's actual clues when somebody gets murdered, apparently, which I do find interesting.
But then also there's a lot of like running around and shooting people with shotguns and stuff. So
which kind of just I always thought was really weird. Because I'm like, how does that work?
What if I just start the game and start shooting every single person? And I'm like, one of them had to be the killer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand the mechanics.
If everyone else is dead and I'm alive, that means I wasn't the killer.
Yeah. maybe
like,
it needs a little bit of a deeper dive, like, as to what's the point of, like, is there some kind of like bonus for if you're one of the sheep keeping as many people alive?
Yeah,
or
the
like,
sheep thing seems more complicated than the murderer side was.
yeah, because the murder side looks a lot like a Hitman or like the Splinter Cell multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like,
whereas the sheep one's like, well, it doesn't even say kill them. It's like, well, you got to get them out. And it's like, does that mean we vote them out, or
right.
are we allowed to murder them? I don't see how that works.
we'll just lock everybody in their room. So,
It's always interesting when one of these games comes out and the rules are always so complicated to the point that we're like, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah,
That's why Among Us worked, because the rules were so simple.
Square Enix is like one of the only things that Square Enix showed this time around.
Yeah, that wasn't just like a re-release of some kind.
I don't even know if there's
because the re-release stuff wasn't another thing.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, Arc Raiders. Yeah, we're going to skip over a lot of this because we got a lot to go through. I keep saying that, but then I'm worried the podcast is going to be 20 minutes long, and then I keep looking over and it's like, no, it's already 20 minutes long, motherfucker. Like, you got to keep moving.
We've been here for 4 hours.
Arc Raiders is a thing. You already know what Arc Raiders is. It's an extraction shooter. It
looks fine. I don't know what else to say about Arc Raiders.
Dune Awakening is also a thing. We played it. Go watch the dojos for it.
Watch our dojos.
They had a pretty decent launch trailer where there was like a Harkonnen guy and a lady in there. Like they like each other, and then as the story goes on, they become split, and then they have to fight at the end.
It makes it seem like more of a story trailer, or like more of a story game, though.
Yeah,
it's my only issue with this trailer. After playing it, I'm like, oh, this is not really that.
I think it's a Funcom curse where it's trying to be. It's like it's a lot of things,
and
it's not any of them very well.
Yes,
like it's an okay version of a lot of different stuff wrapped in a Dune wrapper. So, Chrono Odyssey. We saw a trailer for Chrono Odyssey. This is another one we're going to gloss over because this looks really good, but this is also one of those third-person action MMO games.
I remember when I realized that, I was very bummed out.
Yeah, like because it's an interesting. I talked about it before. It looks like an interesting kind of like third-person action fantasy game with some weird like Lovecraftian cosmic strangeness to it, but it's just a fucking online game. So
it's also got some Monster Hunter DNA in it too. Yeah, some of the monsters.
How many more of these do we have? Okay,
it was a 2-hour thing, so we're gonna have a lot of just that's a game that exists.
Let's see. Oh wait, I've gone off script again.
This we actually did do at one point. It's this MMO thingy that we Wuthering Waves.
Oh, Wuthering Waves. Oh,
we did one of the versions for it.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, because they just have a trailer for like the new thing for it.
Okay. And then wait, which one was this? That was this is a
this
Mio?
one. Yeah, it was Mio.
Mio Memories in Orbit, which is just kind of like a
fun.
It's a decent enough Metroidvania.
Yeah.
That is
nothing too insane.
Yeah, that's okay. There's a lot of Metroidvanias out there right now. Like,
yes, quite a few of them, yeah.
And a lot of them, I think I really only focused on like one or two because most of them look like fine, but not like anything special.
And they just announced like one of the biggest of those before this.
Okay, wait. Where am I on my list? Where am I on my list? Oh, no, okay. Oh, yeah, I had all that. But then I missed... Did I miss this? Is that later?
No, that's later.
Nicktoons?
Yeah, that's later.
Oh, okay. How did my list get out of order? Fuck you. God damn it. My list, I spent like a week and a half doing this shit. And then it like, wait a minute. And then we're moving to other. Okay, fine. Whatever. We'll just go with it. Out of words. This one I liked.
Well, I'm a big fan of stop motion being like able to, because people were able to do stop motion stuff and then put it into a game engine.
Right.
And then make that work really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that people are experimenting with gaming animation again, because I feel like we weren't getting enough of that for a little while.
Yeah, so it's this kind of stop motion co-op like like platformer kind of side scroller where you play as two people. It's like they both have their mouths erased and they're like, it looks like a lot of like, I don't know, gravity shifting, like one person's run on the ceiling, one person's running on the floor type of thing.
Yeah, and it's all this like co-op-y looking thing.
Yeah, and it looks really nice. Like I'm glad to see this getting thrown out there more and more often. But yeah, out of words, that one was one that struck me because I thought it looked pretty cool. So I don't know what's next because
I go back. I want to see there. Pause on Jeff Keighley's shoes.
What's that? Oh, what color are Jeff Keighley's shoes?
I feel like that's like a dark yellow.
I thought so too.
I can see why somebody thinks that's full brown, though.
But is that just the yellow and red background reflecting off of his shoes? They could just be white. White.
Don't be shoe racist.
They could just be shining a yellow light on his feet. We didn't realize it. Oh yeah,
Mafia, the old country.
Mafia, the old country is a thing. I remain just as I've watched 3 different trailers for Mafia, the old country, and I remain as indifferent to it as I was the day it was fucking announced, as if it was a big ass thing.
It's a game that I'm just like, if you were excited, I'm happy for you, but me and Jeff just don't care.
It's like, I don't know, if it comes out and
becomes Game of the Year, so
it doesn't turn out that all the patrons of RageSelect are huge fans of Mafia and they don't all leave before it comes out. I mean, we'll get it, we'll look at it, we'll see how it goes, but it's just kind of like 1920s countryside Italy fucking honor and suit jackets. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. I just don't give a shit.
I don't know. If it's not a Western and during that time frame, I don't really care.
Holy shit. What is this? 3 hours long? It says 3 hours long. Holy crap.
This is that Lego.
Yeah, Lego Builder's Journey. I really like this for a couple reasons. One, I really liked the last thing that this team made that was Lego, like something. I forget what the name of it was, but it was...
I think it was the build thing, because I think this is a
Lego
different
Builders.
One.
Yeah,
this is Voyagers.
This is Voyagers. So the thing I like about this is that
Star Trek Voyagers. Yeah.
It's a co-op game where you're playing these 2 little Lego guys. But I like the fact that in order to build stuff, the little Lego guys, they have to pick stuff up and then put it down.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things that keeps me from enjoying Lego games is that it's just like this kind of free for all. Like, here are the blocks, rotate them in 3D, and I'm like, I don't want to. But the idea of picking them up and putting them down. Also, it's very cute. They're just like each character is a little one-piece Lego block with a little googly eye on it.
Oh yeah, because the other thing about those other Lego games is they're all like, they're Lego Star Wars, they're Lego Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah,
like a lot of those Lego games, and when you're building, you're building the very specific things it's asking you to build.
Absolutely.
And so this being like more creative about that is a little more interesting.
Absolutely. Yep. So yeah.
See, this is the Nickelodeon thing.
Oh, this is the Nickelodeon thing. Oh yeah, because
Sandy Cheeks.
Sandy Cheeks is out there. I don't know. How did my fucking list get messed up? I'm sorry.
I blame SpongeBob.
You blame who?
I blame SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny.
So this is like that fucking Minecraft punchy game or whatever the fuck it was. What was? You remember what I'm talking about?
Minecraft Legends.
Yeah, this is just that, but with like Nicktoons, it seems.
Yeah, except it's also not 3D. It's like it's all 2D, and I think it looks like. I don't know why Nickelodeon can't make a game that doesn't look like balls. Like, it looks like balls to me. Like, the colors are muted, the landscape doesn't have enough detail on it. The character animation is like not very good because it's kind of, I don't know.
They're very flat. They're trying to animate like as if they're like 2D things in a 3D space.
Which
is very awkward to look at.
It's the puppet animation that you do. It's the kind of cutout puppet animation that you do. It's a little better than that, but like, I don't know, but this is a game for children. I
was about to say, I think it also means that they can make character models super easily because of it.
And they can sell you brand new characters. And this is for people who don't care who just want to go play the game.
Because it's clear during the intro, they're like the other people are supposed to be other Nicktoon characters. We just can't tell who they are outside of Timmy.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious who the others are.
Yeah. I have no nostalgia for any of these characters. Even when we played the fighting game, but I was like, I do.
But the thing about nostalgia is that I'm like fucking 35, and these games are not made for me.
Right.
Like the fighting games try to be, but like most of these types of games aren't. So
yeah. We got a new trailer for Lies of P Overture, the prequel DLC for Lies of P. Michael, you know what I didn't know when I went and bought this is that you'd get to chapter 9 in the main story of Lies of P before you could start the DLC. So
that's such a strange thing to do for a prequel.
Yeah. But fortunately, they added 2 new easy modes into the game, and I picked the lesser of the 2 easy modes, and it's much more fun.
And this just came out like right away, too.
Yep, it was also one of the few, and it's out today, that we saw in the main stuff. Yeah. In the indie stuff, there was a lot of that, but like in the main stuff, actually in the indie stuff, it was a lot of, there's a demo on Steam. There was
a couple demos, I think, for this one, too, but not a lot.
But yeah, it looks good. If you like Lies of P, it seems like more Lies of P. It's got a little bit of a backstory for some of the bullshit Lies of P, and they're actually selling it as they're selling like a 2-pack because it's literal DLC. It's not standalone.
Oh, okay.
So you can buy for, I think it's like $60 when I bought it, where it was like both the $25 DLC and the main game.
Oh, okay. It's one of those packs. Okay.
Well, because the main game was on Game Pass, so a lot of us probably played it on Game Pass. Because I went and looked and I was like, oh, I don't actually own Lies of P.
No, I never actually even tried to play it even when it was on Game Pass. But that was because the demo was so difficult for me. I just didn't even try.
You might try with the new difficulty. It's a little.
People really liked Lies of P.
Yeah, people really liked it. It's a pretty fun game. Let's see. From there,
this was that weird one where it's like Doki Doki Panic plus
Doki Doki
some
Literature
sort of horror
Club
thing.
Yeah, Silent Hill meets Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah,
which
Fractured Blooms,
which is a weird description because the point of Doki Doki Literature Club is you didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
In that, where this is like, well, everything else is already kind of fucked up. So
I like the fact that this is 1 out of 2/3 horror farming games. Please take my cozy game and make it fucking horrifying. I actually am really excited for this one because it is interesting. It's got a lot of like weird iconography to it, and the fact that it kind of there was another farming horror game that was announced like 2 years ago that they had a big demo for, where it's like,
yeah, I remember us talking about it at the time.
You farm during the day and then at night like weird bullshit happens. Everything about this trailer I think is really cool looking. I love the way the imagery looks. I like the fact that it I'm a sucker for this bullshit. You guys are gonna see, there's like 60 games announced, and I picked 2 of them, and they're the 2 horror games because I like horror games. So
yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff out of it, and yeah, I'm curious to see what it actually is once it comes out.
Yeah, me too. The main character looks like Wendy from Wendy's, so
I can see that.
There is that. Like if Wendy from Wendy's was a serial killer. Let's see. After that, is this more? Is this the? Oh yeah, this is just. Which one is this? Is this neck?
I don't even remember.
Fuck's sake, Michael.
It's the game.
I used to know. Anyway, I got all my stuff for this from recaps, and so the recaps didn't have these like tiny bullshit updates. I don't care. Blade and Soul Neo.
Oh, okay. Oh wait, this is the one where it was just like every fucking trailer one after another, right?
Right. I think so. This is the anime block where it was just a bunch of like updates for the Wuthering Waves.
And there were games that they didn't even try to have like a guy to pop up and say an intro for.
Yeah.
So a lot of Blade and Heroes. I think there was this One Punch Man crossover.
Oh God, yeah, fuck off.
This crystal thing was the name of it.
Who wants a One Punch Man crossover with anything? Like I don't. And the fact is that like the One Punch Man was what got me back into anime like 10 years ago. And here's Saitama walking around with his daikons and his fucking laundry and his shopping thing, fighting the boss from an anime that came out like 10 years ago.
A very long time ago.
Come on, man.
Crystal of Adeline, that was what it was called.
From there, Seven Deadly Sins is a game. I've heard nothing but bad stuff about Seven Deadly Sins, the anime.
I heard it was great in the beginning, and then it went really bad real quick.
I've heard it was never good. Sorry to all of you fans. There's a Seven Deadly Sins game. It looks like one of these standard tie-in games where you're action and fishing and cooking and having a good time. I think it was the longest
of these like blocks of trailers too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh, was that it? You mean
and
this
then it was an Unreal.
This is Unreal. Yeah, this is just Unreal. And then we're flashing. Oh, then Jurassic World Evolution 3, which
good for them for making these still for Matt to play something.
You know what? I learned when I read the blurb for this that I didn't know from this trailer is that all the baby dinosaurs, they didn't used to be babies. They used to just hatch and then they would be regular dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
So they added little babies.
Added little babies.
They got little babies that
They're
run
babies.
and do little baby dinosaur antics to each other. Oh, look at the baby dinosaur.
Adorable.
They're like the little babies.
Now the babies can murder people.
Yeah. I think that this game would be more fun, Michael, if there was just a meter on one side that was like time until everything goes wrong. And like you just no matter what kind of park you build in Jurassic World,
life finds a way.
Eventually everybody breaks out and it's like at that point the game shifts to a third person action game where you've got to try to kill as many dinosaurs as you can before all of your paying customers are eaten to death.
That's what the meter should say though. It should be called the life finds a way meter.
Yes. Well, no, Jeff Goldblum narrated the thing and he did the life finds a way thing.
He was the narrator of the second game, I think.
Yes.
As well. I don't know about the first game, but I remember him being in the second one.
Here's something that I was really excited about. Mina the Hollower with a release date. Mina the Hollower, the new game from Yacht Club. They've been working on since Shovel Knight. It's like kind of a top-down Game Boy Color inspired type of game.
It's crazy looking.
It looks kind of crazy, and it's funny because when I played Shovel Knight, I thought Shovel Knight looked like it was going to end up being too hard, and then when I played it, I was like, oh no, it's just hard enough. So, but yeah, we've been waiting for a long time to see what the release date was, and we got one now, and it's Halloween this year.
Oh, okay.
Or no, wait, October. Yeah, I think it's actually on Halloween when it comes out.
It looks fantastic.
Looks great.
It reminds me of that sort of Link's Awakening type animation.
Yep, looks great,
but with more detail.
There's a demo out. I mean, I don't know. By the time this goes up, it might be done. But, yeah. Let's see. From there. Oh, okay. My list.
This is where the Deadpool thing happens.
Yeah.
It's like, Jeff, I will murder your family if you don't show me my world premiere.
Right.
And they got Neil Patrick Harris to do Deadpool.
To do Ryan Reynolds.
And it's just very strange.
I think there was didn't Ryan Reynolds do a video where he was like, oh, I lost out the role to Neil Patrick Harris for the game or something like that?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's an interesting choice, though, because I wouldn't have picked him personally.
I thought it was a good, I mean, when I watched the trailer, I thought it was a good impression.
Well, I thought it was an impression until I heard him say the word Spider-Man. I'm like, wait, that's Neil Patrick Harris, because Neil Patrick Harris has done Spider-Man before, so that's one of the reasons I was like, okay, now I hear it.
It's a VR game. I mean, it looks just like a shooty, fun VR game. It looks like it's got like physics stuff. I'm sure. Like, I don't know.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
I kind of get a little bit. I don't know. I kind of get a little bit like meh about VR games where it's like, I mean, I guess like if that's what we're going to do, then sure. But
the thing about VR games is you have to have the room for them, and you also just have to be able to play them without vomiting for long periods of time.
True.
And it's for the MetaQuest 3, so it's not even a PlayStation VR game.
Yeah.
Or even a VR game for your computer.
Yeah.
So that's the only annoying thing about that, because that was the same with the Arkham game too.
Dying Light the Beast got a new trailer. I mean,
it looks great.
It looks fine.
It looks like some Dying Light with more insane shit.
I want to know how long it is. The reason I didn't play the reason I never really started Dying Light 2 was because they were like, it's 250 hours long, and I was like, goodbye. Thank you very much.
Based on what we know, it's like a side story type thing, so yeah, it's probably much shorter.
I hope so, because I really did like Dying Light 1, and then I just kind of lost it for Dying Light 2. So, but we already know that's coming out August 22nd. Let's see. After that, what do we got?
It's a mixtape.
Mixtape. That's right. Okay, now my thingy is all fucked up again. So
it's more like I don't really know what to say about mixtape other than like it looks charming. it's going to be impossible to stream for streamers.
Yeah.
Even when they showed it at Game Fest, they didn't have any actual like licensed music for what they're showing this time around.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Mixtape. I mean, like the thing about mixtape is that it's starting to get close enough to like teenagers in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of teenagers in the 80s. There's been a lot of little kids in the 90s, but teenagers in the 90s, well, now you're talking Jeff's language. So like, and the fact is that I really like The Artful Escape, which was the last thing that Beethoven Dinosaur did.
And it was very good. Yeah.
And I like the way that this is animated with the kind of skipping the frames. And then the soundtrack lineup, like, you know, they got Portishead on there. Holy shit. Okay, good. You actually know what you're doing.
It's a really interesting lineup of artists.
So I don't know. Like, usually you can miss me with the teenage ennui, but it's possible that they might be able to get me. I mean, like, part of this trailer was somebody starting up a Discman before they went out to do their crazy stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, I know those feels.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's the thing about the 90s a lot of people don't do enough of is that teenage that like I feel like people just don't make movies about the 90s correctly.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe this game will do a good job with
and
that.
like I don't know, you know, you look at that, like look at that. That's the thing that I don't know, that this game is like charming me a little bit with. There's like a scene in this trailer, there's a couple of different scenes where this lady here, and she's wearing like a black tank top over a white t-shirt, and she's got like a flannel tied around her waist. And I'm like, yeah, man, I knew that girl. I went to high school with that girl. She got like short brown hair, and I'm like,
I knew a lot of people with that outfit.
Oh, and now my whole video has screwed up. So that's good. That's great.
It was what was it? It was like the Alanis Morissette set of clothes.
Yeah, is
really what that sort of thing was for a bit there.
Oh boy.
And then
God, there's still so much left.
And like I said, that soundtrack's gonna be really funny though.
Yeah,
just because trying to watch people stream, it's gonna be really funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm into mixtape. I really liked Artful Escape. They got the credit with me. I'm usually not a big fan of the teenage stuff, but hey, it's my teenage years, so maybe it'll be good. With that, Michael, we are already over time, and we're not even through Summer Games Fest yet. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. I don't know what I'm going to do about this list. I'm going to try to see if I can fix it a little bit, but we'll be back in just a minute, and then we're going to have to power through the rest of Summer Games Fest because we still got 5 more of these motherfuckers left to go. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
And we're back.
Yes.
My God, Michael. Okay, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
Yeah.
So okay, we're still in the Summer Games Fest. Next up, we got Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, which was just kind of like a top-down animated kind of thing. Looked all right. Like it was.
Yeah.
It
looks fine.
This is fine. Very like Asian inspired.
The trailer was like kind of neat, I guess, with its animation.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Nothing to write home about. Nothing to
like
get too
dog
excited
people
about.
And fish people and people.
I guess that's the thing is that like in any other year this would not be on the fucking main stage of Summer Games Fest.
No,
like,
I feel like Summer Game Fest didn't get all the big people this time around.
Yeah. But I mean, it's nice. It looks like a nice game, and I don't know. Maybe I'll play it someday. Who knows? A game that I do want to play, though, if I got a new source. So yeah, okay, all right, good. We're back on track. A game I do want to play though is Acts of Blood. I
want to be excited about this game.
Yeah,
but it needs a major overhaul of its sound design.
Yes,
when it comes to like hitting things.
Yes. Not just that, like I was thinking that if it, because this is like a Sifu kind of style, like kind of third person action brawler. But yes, you're correct. The sound design for it is awful. The hits don't sound anywhere near heavy enough.
Like you're doing all these cool fucking wicked ass moves, and it's like pop,
Yeah. Yep.
Pap. It's like, well, fuck, dude.
And then also I feel like the screen needs to shake a little bit when you hit, like
like
or
something.
like it feels a little too floaty. But I like what the way the characters look, and I like the way the action looks. It's just like, you guys need to punch it up. You need to like crank it up a little bit more.
I need some like Indiana Jones Kraken punches type sounds. Something like where I really feel the hits.
Because the art design and the characters and stuff, that's all looks great. Like
everything else looks fantastic about it.
Action looks great. Like it looks like a fun beat 'em up. So I don't know. Maybe they got until summer of next year.
Yeah, just punch up your sound design, guys, and I'll be all for it.
Yep. From there, we got. This is probably a big one for a lot of people.
This was the most excited I got up until a certain point.
Scott Pilgrim EX. So it's some kind of like weird, like space-time crossover thing.
Yeah, it's like an alternate timeline type thing. And it's a whole new story written by the original guy, Brian Lee O'Malley, who I met once years ago.
And it's by Tribute, who's like, I think they made the original one, right?
Yeah, they made the last one with Dotamu, I think, and Ubisoft,
or they published it, but...
And so, they were the main people. They were one of the ones that like really brought back the beat 'em up for a little bit with this game and the original run. And it was very heavily inspired by
River City Ransom.
Yeah. And it shows when you play the game. And I'm very excited because they got Anamaguchi back as well, who did the soundtrack for that first game.
They got Paul
and
Robertson.
the Netflix show too.
I like Paul Robertson.
The game looks like a lot of fun. The animations look even better than they did that first time.
Yeah.
And they said there's going to be even more characters, so I'm curious to see who's going to be playable.
Yeah,
especially since it's an alternate timeline, so maybe they're going to be like alternate versions of characters.
It's a lot more whimsical though. Like it's a lot more like monsters and stuff, and a lot less like just guys.
It leans more heavily into the fantasy side of what was going on. In Scott Pilgrim, because the weird thing about Scott Pilgrim was the fact that like. It seemed like exaggerated stories type thing, where this feels like, no, the world's just like that. Like the world's is like overrun by vegans, demons, and what was the other one?
I don't remember. Yeah,
like just like shock jocks or some shit. I don't know. There's a lot of the robots. That's right. It was the robots.
Yeah,
and so it's just like that's just the world this is. And so a guy who's like in their 20s now has to beat everybody up to death.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited because I fucking love that first game.
Yeah, I mean, a good beat 'em up. It's nice to see the beat 'em ups are back, and especially I like a good River City Ransom style, what River City Girls and some of the other stuff that's been coming out. So yeah, I'm all for it. It's just like apropos of nothing. Like there's not a new thing. There's not a season 2 of the show.
The show didn't get a new season.
Like
he's not making a new Scott Pilgrim book.
Right. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
It's not even like the re-release of the movie or some shit.
Right.
They just did it for the fun of the game, and I love them for that.
So yep, good stuff. Let's see from there. This is the ads. First, Descendant has a bunch of nonsense.
Descendant shit.
If you care. That's fine. That's fine.
And then there's the 1.0 trailer.
Scum is going into 1.0. Apparently, this is a game that has a shitting mechanic in it. Like there was another trailer that had like, it's got like a shit mechanic in it.
I was confused by this thing, and I said I was confused, but then my friend Hector was like, "No, Scum's actually really good."
Yeah,
and I was like, "I'm just gonna take your word for that."
It looks like
trailer's insane.
It looks like goofy Rust.
Yeah,
like really goofy Rust, and I'm like, I'm not entirely sure if I want to play really goofy Rust, but hey, full launch June 17th.
I get why the internet wants to play that though.
Sure. From there, we got everybody's favorite game, the best game of the year 2025, Mind's Eye. Got another launch trailer. Michael sent me an article earlier. This game is so bad that PlayStation is offering refunds for it.
Yeah, they're refunding people for this game, which they don't normally do, guys.
No.
And one of the guys who was like the head of the company or something, right, was like, people are pretending to hate our game,
right?
Because they're being paid to.
It's a coordinated, paid effort to make our game terrible, and apparently your game is just really terrible.
It's just real bad. And then they're like, oh, by the way, Hitman,
right,
is parts of Mind's Eye.
Yeah, Hitman's going to be in Mind's Eye, and it's like that doesn't make the game any better.
If anything, it makes Hitman worse.
Yeah. They also, I mean, because we were talking about IO Interactive stuff, they're also making because they're making Casino Royale Mads Mikkelsen elusive target for Hitman.
I think it's still going on right now, right?
Yes, they
Goes the month till July, I think, or up until somewhere in July.
Something like that.
They said something like that.
It's an elusive target, and they changed the Paris level to be a big casino, and it's very much a tie-in with Casino Royale, where you're hunting Le Chiffre. I was really excited when I saw this, and then I hate it, and I don't want to play it because, one, it's an elusive target, which means you can only play it once. I mean, I don't know if you could still only do that, but like, it's not set up as a level. It should have just been an expansion level, like the Icon.
Well, I think it's like a once
but...
per day thing. I think is the way the elusive targets are supposed to work.
Well, in the old days, the elusive targets were you got one shot, and if you died on that level, like you could quit
the problem
out.
is I don't know nowadays. I don't know if they've changed that or not.
If you quit out, you could try it again, but if you died, it was over, and if you kill them, it's over, and you get the rewards. So.
Yeah, so you can't even like play around with it.
Yeah.
I do like that one of the weapons in there is just the rope that was used to destroy James Bond's testicles.
Yep.
So,
I also watched the IO thing for this, and it appears that it's like it's just Casino Royale, man. Like it's just the stuff. It's just if you wanted to play Casino Royale as Agent 47, you could do that. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the problem with elusive targets. Is like you want to have more fun with these things.
Maybe I'll load it up off camera and just shoot him with a sniper rifle and be done with it. Like just be like, just give me the rewards. That's all I really give a shit about.
Was that so hard, Bond?
Yeah. Also. That I think that they announced that there's going to be a co-op mode for Hitman called Stone and Night. They announced this at the IO Interactive thing, but I think they might have mentioned it briefly. Oh yeah, they also dragged poor Mads Mikkelsen up on stage.
He looks so confused.
Talking about what's going on here.
I really liked playing this guy.
Yeah,
they let me do it again.
They let me do it again.
I thought that was kind of neat. Where's my check?
So yeah. Let's see. Come on, guys, wrap it up. After that, we got Lego Party. Lego is trying the Mario Party. Is trying to get in the Mario Party business. So it's Mario Party, but with Lego characters,
which is nice, I guess.
I guess. What was it? Did they do that Smash Brothers game like a little while back?
They did. We played that one.
Yeah, they tried to get in on the.
It was terrible.
The Spyro or the Skylanders game.
They just tried that for
service,
and that thing was super expensive.
Lego keeps trying to do stuff. Just have your own idea, Lego.
Just stick to the Lego adaptation games. Those people really like those.
Yeah.
Or those Kart Racer ones actually weren't too bad too, if I remember.
Yeah. Let's see. After that, we got another trailer for Wildgate, which is ex-Blizzard devs doing a kind of. It's like it's like spaceships with like a crew of like 5, I think, and then there's like several teams that are all kind of competing in a galaxy to get like stuff. I really, really love how this game looks. Like it looks like a big goofy space Blizzard game. I really just don't want to play a multiplayer online adversarial game.
Because it's Sea of Thieves in space, I think was how we described it.
Yeah,
when they first showed it, and which I'm for the people who like that. I'm very happy for them.
Yeah,
because Sea of Thieves is also still doing really well. So if this even gets close to that, I think this will do just fine.
I don't know. I might try playing it and just see if it's like if it's fun enough to play. But I just generally don't have the. I just don't have the bloodthirst to want to kill other people.
That's fair.
But I will say, though, one of the things I noticed this year was that, at least at Summer Games Fest and at Microsoft, far fewer multiplayer games. Like, way less. Like, which was good.
Nearly as many in any of the conferences, I felt like.
A lot of the indie stuff, the PC gaming one had a lot.
Oh, but, okay. Well, that makes sense for them, yeah.
Let's see. From there, we got the new game from Drinkbox. Which I'm starting to cool a little bit on, but we'll see. Called Blighted.
This one. Okay, I was trying to remember what this one was called.
It's kind of a Hades-esque, kind of a top-down ARPG type of thing in this weird world where you grow trees out of people's brains and then you eat the fruit from the trees and get their memories, and there's like a blight on the land. It looks interesting. I don't know. I feel like I keep wanting Drinkbox to make something that hooks me as hard as Guacamelee did, and they haven't yet.
I think they just haven't been inspired that same way. Like, there's some inspiration here that I think is really cool, but I don't know if it's going to reach anywhere close to that anymore.
Yeah, this feels more like Nobody Saves the World.
Yeah.
A little bit more like that, except less like... It's more of a straight-up action game, whereas Nobody Saves the World had more... It did have action, but it had more like puzzle elements with the different forms that you could take on.
Yeah.
And this feels like it's more of an ARPG-style game. So who knows? Like maybe it ends up being really good. It's just that like I said, this is the problem with making like one of my favorite games of all time as your debut game. Is I'm like, all right, what else you got? And they're like, Sundered. I'm like, and they're like, Nobody Saves the World. I'm like,
That happens so often with some games. They're like, yeah, but could you do something like that again? And then they try, and then they're just not nearly as good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, we'll give it a shot. Like, it doesn't look bad or anything. It just
looks fun.
It didn't grab me by the yayas.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what did grab me by the yayas though was Ill.
This game legitimately freaked me out, which is very hard. It's not normally a game's doing.
Yeah.
When I'm watching something in full daylight.
Yeah. a lot of naked goopy men
making like
around.
super fucking disturbing movements.
Yep. Just kind of slapping and slooping and slopping out of places.
It's the way they walk and everything.
Pieces coming off of them. And they're giant. They're all covered in goos. And then some kind of like first-person shooter, action survival horror type of game. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. Like, I remembered the name of it. I could tell you what it was like days later. Like, really want to play this game.
This one was like, okay, do you fucking have me on this one?
Yeah.
I am scared of just this trailer.
Yep.
Because the way they move, like, look at the way that guy moves. That's just like, it's so unnerving.
Yep.
And even the way that thing moves.
And
because it's not the way, like, the way a zombie shuffles.
Right.
You want to know a good way of explaining it, if for people who aren't seeing this? The way some of the Titans move in Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
They have that very weird,
kind of like clumsy,
but almost like otherworldly type way of walking.
Yep.
But because they're not like the way a zombie is, where they're like shambling because their bodies are like, falling apart. They're just like fucking clumsily creepy.
Yeah.
And they're just so fucking gross.
And they're wet as hell.
Yeah.
They're just covered in greasy fluids.
Like, I feel gross just looking at them.
They're all naked. And at the end, they show you can kick a baby. And I was like, you had me before, but now you got to kick a baby?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
The way the trailer ends with punting children, like mutant children, I was like, okay, game, you've got me.
And also, there's some kind of weird, like paramilitary Eastern Bloc shit going on in here. I don't know what. Whole thing looks great. Want to play it. Thought for a minute it might be like Evil Within 2 or something like that, but nope. It's just a game called Ill.
Yeah, this was, I think, was the most exciting things they showed there.
Yep. I was a big fan of everything I saw from this. I cannot wait to check it out. It looks great. I can't wait to punt a baby because, to
be like absolute Batman.
No, you don't get to kick you don't get to kick a lot of babies in video games. So
Yeah, you really don't.
I guess you get to stomp on them in Dead Space, the little babies that come out. You can
that's true.
So
That's the closest thing I can think of that'll let you still do that.
from there, we had a big trailer from Mecha Break, big story trailer showing all this story that you're not going to care about because you're just online trying to min-max and beat people in duels. And
That's the thing when they try to add story to like certain games that you're just like, yeah, but this isn't really what the game is for.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to really find out what's actually happening in this.
yeah, like I actually really, really like this story trailer, and I wish this was a single-player game that I could play, but it's not.
That is, again,
But it's
the
not.
issue. It's because people are very sweaty when it comes to hero shooters.
Yep. But I don't know. I mean, Mecha Break looks like it's good for that, but I just want to play a single-player mech game. I thought that, I guess Armored Core didn't like sell so hard that the industry was going to transition into trying to make single-player mech games.
Well,
but
even then, it would take them a bit to make one.
True. So yeah, Mecha Break coming out pretty soon. I tell you what, I like this look of this one too. Infinitesimals, which is like it's grounded if you were like an alien space marine instead of just like a 13-year-old kid. Like,
yeah, it's a Honey the Shrunk Kids war going on.
It's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids with Master Chief or
like
the Arbiter. Like,
or I know there's that movie with all the tiny people.
Yeah,
that they're like fairies or something. It's like that, but there's a lot of like it's like Avatar but miniaturized almost.
Yeah,
and I think it's fascinating because they're clearly like in what appears to be like yards and stuff.
Right. But then
that stuff's just exploding.
But then they've got like, like machine guns and mech suits and stuff like that. I'm like, great, wonderful, huzzah.
Like, I made the joke when they were showing this where I was just like, I bet you there's just a guy who owns this yard just going, what the fuck is that sound? Just like every time something's happening and people think he's crazy. 'Cause he's like, I swear to God, I keep hearing fireworks going off.
I'm so tired of the you're a tiny person inside of like a yard or a forest or something, and so I've got to make like a parachute out of an acorn and a spider web, and I'm like,
I got like a sword made out of like leaves or something.
Right. And here it's like, no, you got like a machine gun, like a tiny machine gun.
This is a Bug's Life if it was a war.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually really interested in this one because it looks pretty good.
It looks really interesting because they showed fucking Grounded 2 on something else.
Yeah.
I know I'm cutting ahead, but like seeing this made me be like appreciate it more,
right?
Because I didn't really like care for that idea.
Yeah.
And there's the tease, Resident Evil tease.
Yeah, then they came out and said that you got to bear with us a little bit longer before we talk about the next Resident Evil game. And just put a pin in that. We'll come back to it in a few minutes. Michael, how do you feel about Kenny Omega announcing all of the new Street Fighter characters?
It's just on brand for Kenny Omega because that dude's a crazy person when it comes to games.
Yeah,
and I love the way they did this.
Yeah,
because that man is just like, fuck it, put me in a dress. I will do this shit for you guys.
It was Axel and
was Alex
Viper or
Alex C. Viper, Ingrid, and then Sagat, and they're the new season pass set of characters,
right?
Or character pass set of characters. People were very excited, except for Ingrid, because I don't think anyone has ever been excited for Ingrid ever.
Who is Ingrid? I didn't.
She's from one of the alpha games, I think.
Oh, okay.
But she has like a really weird design. I think is the other reason people are like kind of meh on her.
Okay.
But C. Viper is a very like popular character that didn't show up.
Yeah,
hasn't shown up in a while.
Scott's almost got a shirt on. He's almost got a shirt
there.
on. He's getting closer.
And so yeah, a lot of people, because I had a lot of friends being like, "Do you know what happened to C. Viper?" I'm like, I don't know actually.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that she's coming back because I'm a big fan of C. Viper.
Let's see. From there, Last Flag is some kind of like online multiplayer capture the flag game. Is this the one where they were like, it's like capture the flag on crack? No, wait, that's a different one.
No, but this has a lot of personality to it, which is the only thing I think might help it for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like the lumberjack and like the so and so. I'm just like you guys already know, right? Like Michael and I don't want to play a capture the flag game.
No.
So
I also don't know if this will last longer than like a couple of months.
Right. Everybody's like, "Ooh, time till the servers are turned off."
But it'll last longer than Concord did. And I'll tell you that much.
Maybe I don't know. I guess it's an indie, so they don't have to worry about like
they really don't.
The publisher shutting everything off.
And also, like I said, it's got some personality to it, so it's got a small chance.
I mean, so did Knockout Kings and
and that lasted like a year.
What was the wrestling? What was the wrestle one?
Oh, I don't even
remember. The chicken head guy. That one.
Rumble Town or Rumble City or something.
Rumble Takedown.
Rumble McSkirmish.
Yeah. So whatever. All right. Sure. Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers got another trailer. We're not going to spend any time on this. It's just like it was well known. It's been out. Tons of trailers. You're playing as a lady. I remember we saw it like a year ago, and it was like, oh, it's like a Souls game with bird stuff all over it. And
There's a lot of interesting stuff about it when we saw it.
I need to know whether it's a hard as balls Sekiro before I get invested. But there's a lot of sexy bird people in there, if that's what you're into. So, yep. Then we got another big surprise. This was actually like, because there weren't that many things, we got a pretty big surprise.
This one caught me the fuck off guard.
Wu-Tang Rise of the Receiver, a new Wu-Tang co-op RPG. Like, not a fighting game.
It's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, the funny thing is when they were first showing the Wu-Tang Clan, I was really hoping it would be another Def Jam Vendetta.
Right.
And I was really bummed it wasn't.
Right.
But when it turns out what it was, I was like, oh, well, this actually could still be kind of cool.
I expected Def Jam Vendetta, and I got Def Jam Icon.
Presented by Ghostface Killah. It's such an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan, they're one of the few bands where they're like, there's a game about the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm like, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers love shit like this.
Surprised there haven't been more over the years. I don't know. We got the tiniest snippet of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, and it looks like, I don't know, but I just need to see the game working. Like, a relatively generic third-person action game with the Wu-Tang soundtrack behind it could be exactly the shit that I need, depending on when it comes out. So,
so yeah, I'm curious.
And then as we wrap things up here, we got a few more things. We start with this is another one that I was really into. Oh no, fuck off with all your Guild Wars 2 bullshit. I don't care about that. And Mongil Star Drive.
Yeah, there's some quick stuff that was just like show off stuffy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a montage. This one is called Into the Unwell. And it's a third-person game where you play as this weird like cat, and the thing is that it's kind of got that kind of ropey squash and stretch animation like we saw in Cuphead and Mouse PI, except it's 3D, which I appreciate, like because so many of them have been like hovering in the 2D. But yeah, it's about this cat where the devil like throws you into your own subconscious and you've got to survive, and it looks like a lot of charming personality to it, and I'm a big fan.
They really put a lot of work into it, and the fact that it's 3D means that's that much more work into it.
Yeah.
And the movements and everything is so cool looking.
Yeah.
But it's also a what's the word I'm looking for? Not asynchronous. What am I like? Roguelike. It's a roguelike game. Mm-hmm. And but it looks like it could be a lot of fun depending on how difficult it'll be, I guess, if that makes sense.
Sure. I
mean,
it
looks fantastic, and it's clearly got like maybe a multiplayer type mode to it.
Yeah, like a co-op type of thing.
It showed these three different animals, or these two other animals besides the cat, like high-fiving.
But yeah, everything I've seen in this trailer, it all looks fantastic. Like all of the way the character designs and stuff, it all looks fantastic. And Coffee Stain is publishing it, which is good. Yeah, because they got out from underneath Embracer, and I feel like I want them to have a win so they continue to be a thing.
Absolutely. And the name of the company is so interesting. She was such a good horse.
Fuck, I forgot about this guy. All right, next up, Splitgate 2.
Oh, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy came out with his fucking make FPS great again, talking about like, man, fuck Call of Duty. Why can't games be like Halo? And I'm just like...
Here's the thing. That's not why I'm mad at him. I'm mad about him because of everything he did after this.
Yeah.
Because he's been a giant crazy person since this has happened. He didn't exactly do himself favors when he got on stage the way he did.
That's true. He acted like kind of a cock, and then like, I don't know why people do this, where they're like, surely when you put the hat on that says make FPS great again, you're like, well, people are going to have a reaction to that. And then they did. And you're like, what? No.
I'm shocked you had a reaction. And it's not even the hat. I don't mind the hat because people make joke versions of that hat all the time.
Yeah.
It's how pompous he felt about it.
Yep.
And then how pompous he was afterwards.
Yep.
And how pompous he's been since.
Yep.
Including some other stuff. I don't even know if we're going to talk about new stuff.
Nope. We got no news. So.
All I know is he's just being a giant idiot because... Well, it turns out Splitgate 2 had like an $80 version.
Oh.
And he's like, I don't know about it. I'm like, dude, this is your fucking company.
Yep. Anyway, Splitgate 2 looks like Splitgate 2, and I didn't think Splitgate 1 looked good enough to keep playing.
Splitgate 1 made me laugh because we played it before everybody else did.
Yep.
And I was like, this is just Halo with portals. And they got they tried to take all the serial numbers off, but it's super obvious what this is.
Right.
And so they've been since trying to like make that make sure the serial numbers are off at this point.
Yep.
And I think they finally figured out how to mostly take them off. But I'm still not interested enough in this game. But I get why people are though. It's just, that guy was kind of weird about it. So
just
I don't know. And Splitgate 1 shut down pretty quickly.
He also like he came out with the bat. For no reason. It was like a Splitgate themed bat that he put on the ground while he was announcing his game and being like, fuck Call of Duty. And it's like, I don't know if you really want to. This is like the Sonic thing. I don't know if you want to go head to head with Call of Duty, my man. Like, I don't know if you want somebody in Call of Duty to be like, did you hear what that guy called us? You hear what that guy said about us? Put portals in Warzone. Fuck that guy.
He called you losers.
Yeah. We're gonna make the Flit Gates in Call of Duty. All right, well, let's not talk anymore about that loser. We got a lot more stuff to do. We finally got a full trailer for Stranger Than Heaven, which was Project Century, the latest game from the RGG folks that make the Yakuza games.
And this looks fantastic.
It looks really good.
It's so fucking charming.
It's like a 1940s gangster Yakuza game. It's got because of the setting, it's evoking a lot of Kung Fu Hustle to me. It's also violent as shit.
Yeah.
Like, really violent. Like, Kiryu Kazama doesn't kill people, but, like, the beatdowns that happen in this trailer, I'm just like, holy shit.
And the soundtrack's really cool, too.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. Yeah, every hit's, like, really hard.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's something brand new from these guys. And I can't wait to play it. Like, I don't know. I've never been totally let down by those guys, but there's just like, again, there's not a lot of straight up murder in Yakuza. It looks like there's a lot of straight up fucking murder in this game.
Yeah, it shows you they're like a mercy button. Nah, you don't need to do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, you want to stab that guy in the face? Yeah, go and stab that guy in the
Just
face.
fucking go for it.
Also, they're doing the blue-eyed samurai bit, I guess, because the guy, this weird conversation about what race the guy, the main character is. He's got the blue eyes, so I guess that's going to factor into the story, but. Yeah, everything about this looks great, and I want to play it.
It was again one of the more exciting things about this thing that we had.
It was just a shame that we already knew that it existed, right?
Yeah,
like,
but we finally have the full name as the thing.
Yeah. No, I mean it would have been great because didn't the first trailer come in the Game Awards?
I think it did. But I think it was still called Project Bloom by that point.
Yeah. And then last but not least, you remember how we're going to have to wait some amount of time before we hear about the next Resident Evil game. Okay, well, that time is over and that time is now.
Yeah, it turns out it was like 5 seconds later.
It turns out it was like 20 minutes after that ad came up because we got the announcement of Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
For a Dream, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think of surely there was something that you could have, surely there was a title that you could have manhandled the I and the X for 9 into, right? Like...
there could have been, but the way they did it, I thought was still kind of creative because the Q is enough like a 9.
Yeah,
that you can make it a 9.
It's an interesting trailer because it was really unclear for a while what it was.
It depended on two things. One, if you remember the name of a character in Resident Evil Outbreak, which not a lot of people do, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And then 2, if you had a different theory on who they were.
Right. I thought that it might have been Rose from from the RE8 DLC. So.
Yeah. That's what I thought at first, and maybe she changed her name, but then my friend reacted immediately and just typed the words Outbreak Girl, and I was like, and then it hit me at once. I'm like, oh, now I know what's happening.
God damn, the RE engine looks good. It's such a good look. Like,
it has not faltered in any way.
Look, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but like there's this part where the main character's in like a cubicle desk full of like messy files and boxes and shit. I'm like, man, that looks like a real fucking messy office.
It looks amazing. The fact that you can use this engine for damn near anything is a goddamn miracle.
Yeah. I don't know. Apparently, the only thing I did read some articles that you can switch between first and third person.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a new thing.
That's the thing they kept from the DLC to 8.
And I guess this is we're moving away from Ethan Winters and family, and we're going back to a blowed up Raccoon City for some reason.
Well, spoilers at the end of 8. I don't know if you can go back there.
Well, yeah,
fully at least. So. Yeah. And even for that DLC, so I think it's a good move to move away from Ethan.
Yeah,
but I'm more curious if Chris will pop up again, the way he was popping up in Ethan's story.
God, I hope so. You can put a baby head,
or
on
maybe
him.
Even one of the other people, like maybe one of the other Redfields or Leon or
what's
or
Jill
Wong
up to
or
these
Jill,
days?
Yeah.
What's Chris's little buddy from 5 up to?
Oh yeah,
bring that dude back.
Sure, fuck it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that you could bring back.
Bring back the entire B team. Bring back Chris's little buddy and Wesker's kid that was in 5. Bring back all the 5 people.
Oh, the guy from 6.
6. Yeah, it's the 6.
Yeah, I wanted to bring back all the people that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I mean, this looks like more Resident Evil. They haven't done me wrong.
Actually, you know who they should bring back? The uncle from Resident Evil 7 with the gloves.
Jack?
Yeah. Just punch your way to things
from
again.
A family? What a family.
Shit was great.
Yeah, I don't know. Resident Evil ain't done me wrong. I like what I'm seeing here. It seems real spooktacular and
We'll preface this. Resident Evil hasn't done us long in a long time.
true.
And six I enjoyed because I played with a friend.
You know what? I'm gonna say that on average, Resident Evil, as long as you don't count the multiplayer games, which I never had any
I know you
hopes
should
for.
never count any of those.
But from the mainline entries, I haven't been done wrong by Resident Evil in a while.
Yeah.
6 did me wrong, but 5 didn't, and 7 was great, and 8 was great, and 2 remake, 3 remake, and 4 remake were all great. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
like,
all the multiplayers are the ones that are not good.
the multiplayers, and then like what was the shooter, the blaster one,
I remember what it was called.
Raccoon City Chronicles or
Yeah.
something like.
And then there was the alternate reality one for part 2 or whatever.
Oh
But
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
the name of it anymore.
And then all the multiplayer spin-offs are bad, but the main storyline of Resident Evil has been fine for a while. So
I've been enjoying it.
yeah, super excited. I don't know. Did they say when that was going to be coming out?
No, they just said that they announced it, and they're like, "We'll have more information."
Oh, it says 27th February of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was in there.
For some reason, I thought they didn't. Okay, that's my fault.
So yeah, that was Summer Game Fest.
That's pretty soon, actually. I don't remember now. I do remember thinking that when they announced that. So yeah,
Which, like, okay, I guess it's fine.
It happened.
It's fine.
Again, there was some decent stuff in there and some
Yeah.
good stuff in there.
Yeah, not
but
too bad.
overall, it was 2 hours long.
True.
So I didn't.
Oh,
I don't
you know
think I
what?
could
Should
handle it.
we, before we jump in, I didn't even get the video for this, but Devolver had their thing, and it was fine, but it was 10 minutes long, and it was a little disappointing.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
It was
yeah.
the Ball X Pit, the Kenny Sun story, and it was like a fictitious thing about a guy named Kenny Sun who, as a kid, wanted to make a game about balls, and then he grew up and he finally got a chance to make a game about balls, and so he made this game about balls, and so it's called Ball X Pit, and it's basically like, what if Pong was like an action game? So
that's
instead
weird.
of instead of just bouncing a ball, you have a character that shoots up at like blocks that are coming down.
Oh, okay.
And so they showed, this is what it looks like. It looks fine. It was a little weird that Devolver only had one thing, that this was it. It was 10 minutes long, and
That's very strange for them.
considering I know there are other Devolver games in these showcases.
That means somebody had like just enough time to come up with one idea for this thing.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have enough time for the rest of it.
I mean, I'll be honest, did you watch the Outer Worlds 2 presentation?
I watched part of it.
They got the guy that plays John Ralphio to come in there, and
was
he
pretty
actually made
fun.
some pretty decent jokes.
I'm a big fan of that guy, though.
Anyway, this looks fine. Like it's got this thing, and then it's also got like a management section added onto it.
Oh, okay.
Where you make like a little village, and then in between, it's like you're kind of playing this like. Well, I don't know. Would you say I'm describing it correctly as like Breakout, but you're like you're like one of those Puyo Puyo games?
No, it is.
But
It
with
is
like a
pretty much
machine
trying
gun.
to be like that, and it's trying to. It's like
things are coming down.
like they're coming down slowly the way some of those Breakout games did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the way Galaga did.
Yeah.
But it's more like a wall. The way Breakout was.
And you're kind of trying to shoot through them, and you got like special powers, and you can add different types of balls, and it's
It looks interesting.
It looks
enough.
fine.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
But that was all they did.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And I was like,
No wonder nobody talked about it this year. Yeah.
Wah! I want more games, Devolver. All right. Well, with that, you know what? We got about 10 minutes. Let's get as much Microsoft as we can. Let's get through as much Microsoft as we can. We're making pretty good time considering
We are, for
we're
the
going to
most
put on
part.
one more segment at the end. So we can maybe slow down a little bit because we're definitely not going through every fucking thing that happened at the PC gaming show. That fucking
No.
rotten piece of shit.
The Xbox stuff wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. They started with an Outer Worlds 2 trailer. I think I'm just going to go ahead and say we're going to skip that because they had a bigger showcase at the end.
I will say this: the fun thing about the Outer Worlds 2 is the fact that we know it's coming. That we no longer ever have to worry about it not coming to PS5 because
Right.
that was a worry for a bit when they first bought Bethesda.
Oh yeah.
And then the Xbox was like, "Nah, we like money," and
Yeah.
then never had to worry about it again.
Yep. So yeah, we started with Outer Worlds 2. It was fine. Then we got one of the weirdest. I didn't see this one coming. This one got me.
I didn't see it coming at all.
This one got me all twisted up. High on Life 2. I did not think that High on Life 1 did well enough for them to make a High on Life 2, even if it looks like probably a lot of reused assets.
Well, here's the thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
I figured High on Life 1 did well enough to get a sequel.
Right.
The problem is its main voice actor was hella canceled.
That's true.
So what does that actually mean for the game in general? Because there's no talking in this entire trailer.
The guns are strangely silent, which is the whole reason to play High on Life.
Like, the only person talking is in the fake trailer.
Right.
Or not fake trailer, but the commercial for the fake medicine.
Yeah.
That causes what happens in the first game, essentially. But it's just fucking kind of insane that they made a sequel to this.
It's very weird. It looks a lot like High on Life 1, except you have like a skateboard or something. They show some new guns. No talking guns though. The entire
and that was such a big selling point in the first one.
Yeah, like I don't know. The whole trailer is like, whoa. Do you not want to listen to that irritating Morty voice talking over with your guns? Are always talking to you. They're at oh no, what's happening over here? Oh, can you reload me? Like, I don't know. Is that a thing that people want?
I don't know what's gonna happen. Is there room in the world for High on Life 2, and if so without Justin Roiland's insane voice?
And coming this year? Like this winter is coming out?
I don't know.
You're putting it out during the big game apocalypse at the end of the... Okay. Hey, Microsoft, I'm not your dad. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that.
So, yeah.
From there, we got... this was really interesting because this was Resonance, which was this very violent, like, action game with this, like, lady protagonist that was doing a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of really grim, dark, like, action in a kind of a medieval environment. Resonance, a Plague Tale legacy. Like,
well, it's like a Greek story because it's got the idea is that the rope is supposed to be like the
past.
It's the thread. It's supposed to be the thread they use to get through the maze of the Minotaur.
Oh, okay.
I think is like, at least based on the fact that it zooms out on a maze.
Okay.
But the fact that it ended with like you said, a Plague Tale.
You're like, wait, what?
Thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what do you mean by that?
I don't know enough about Plague Tale to know whether this is exciting or not. Like,
yeah, I remember enjoying Plague Tale, but I don't really know, like,
I didn't see any rats. Were there any rats in here?
It's all Minotaur related now, apparently.
Swarms of Minotaurs.
Yeah, tiny Minotaurs.
I thought for the longest time that it was going to be that Assassin's Creed witch game or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that too.
But yeah, Resonance, a Plague Tale legacy. Sure.
Yeah, I'm like, sure, I guess.
Is one of those, like, I mean, hey, it's going to be on Game Pass. Most of the shit's going to be on Game Pass, so, like, yeah.
That's true. I don't think there was very many things that didn't say day one on Game Pass.
Give it a shot, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. It's hard to, it's kind of just a CG trailer. I'll be interested to see how much more of it there is. Obviously, the main character here is a little bit more of like a fighter, which the character in Plague Tale was a little bit more of a kind of sneaky running away sort. So I don't know. Maybe I like it more than the last ones because everybody says the last ones had great stories.
Yeah, people love those last two. That's why they ended up making the sequel to that one.
Yep. From there, we got the worst bullshit. So. We already knew there was a leak that happened last week actually this happened like months ago, but last week there was a story about how Microsoft is not going to be making their own first-party Xbox portable thing and instead focusing on making the Windows 11 portable OS able to play all the games that you want. So they showed off the ROG, the Xbox-branded ROG handheld. Michael, I'll be honest here. Okay, look, this looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like good, but it's going to be like $800.
That's the thing.
And I'm not going to pay $800 for a Steam Deck. Like, no matter... I paid $800 for my consoles. I'm not going to pay it for this thing. Like...
That's the thing, is that this is a weird one because the fact that if it works the way it's supposed to work... And it's got, you can get Game Pass on it, and you can download all your Xbox games.
Yeah.
It could be a really cool thing.
Yep.
But you would have to be wanting to play that thing a lot to justify the cost amount for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're dropping minimum $700, because there's two versions of it, depending on size of of storage in it.
Oh, right.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think
and
so.
so there's a version that's probably much cheaper, but there's a version that's much more.
I think the cheapest one is 700. Actually,
And even then, I think it still only goes up to, according to that commercial, like 24 gigs, which is not a lot.
No.
In the grand scheme of things. Like, there's some games that are like 20 gigs minimum.
Yeah.
Type thing.
I mean, I don't know. It's a weird. It's a weird. Who is this for? Especially because yesterday I let you mess around with the Switch 2, and I'm like, Switch 2 looks fucking great.
Yeah,
and that's $450. Like if you don't buy the Mario Kart edition, right?
And the PlayStation Portal, as much as it doesn't have storage inside of it. It streams from your console, and it's only like $300 too.
Yeah, if you're in your house. So, a weird. I'm like, okay, I guess
it's very strange the way this thing is supposed to work.
It seems like it seems weird to me because we're in a place where people don't have as much money as they used to spend on luxury items. They're like, let's put out a really expensive Steam Deck.
They keep everything keeps coming out with like more expensive things in a time where that's the one time we do not have the money for that.
Yeah.
So,
they also tacked on to this that Silk Song will be on this console when it is released later this year, so it was like not an actual release date for Silk Song, but it will be out before the year is over.
That was the most Silk Song we saw was during this thing.
Yeah,
which is very strange.
I think the developer came out and apologized for being like, I'm gonna actually release a release date at some point, but like it doesn't launch the same day as this.
Yeah, that's fucking it's really annoying. The people have been waiting forever for that thing.
So let's see. From there, I keep talking about the ROG. From there, we got the poorly named Blood of the Dawnwalker.
This thing.
Come on, man. This is that weird vampire game by ex-Witcher devs.
Yeah.
That's like The Witcher meets Blade. Like
exactly.
Because it's like vampires have taken over and you're like a hybrid you're a daywalker.
Yes.
You're the Dawnwalker.
But you're not allowed to say
the daywalker.
He's got a mohawk and he's in a wheelchair.
That's right. And he's got third-person action game superpowers that are vampire related, unlike the game Vampire or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think this looks okay. Like, it looks fine.
It could be good. The thing is, it's one of those types of games that you're not really sure until you start playing it,
right?
Because there's a lot of cutscenes that kind of run kind of poorly, even in this trailer.
True. It looks somewhat. It's a little choppy. I want to know more about the writing because like this whole game would hinge on the writing.
Yes.
Right? It's like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, where like if it had good writing, then it'll probably be fun to play. And if not, then...
And if it doesn't have good writing, it better be really fun to play.
Right. Really, 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 really fun to play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's got a pretty decent enough art style, and I do like the when vampires take over the world. I like that scenario. Like it's an interesting scenario.
It's an interesting scenario, and the way the story is an interesting scenario enough.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see like really what you're supposed to be able to do during the day, since the rest of the vampires can't really fight you at night.
Right. Yeah. So sure, coming next year. Oh, it's coming to PS5, by the way.
A lot of these games are coming to PS5.
Yeah,
because Xbox just gave
But then a lot of the state of play games were coming to the Xbox as well. So from there, Super Meat Boy 3D.
This was actually a legitimately fun surprise because the fact that Super Meat Boy 1 is coming back, and 2 that they got the 3D treatment.
Yeah.
All I could say is I hope it does better than Bubsy 3D.
Well, they had one that we played a little while back. There was another Super Meat Boy. I think it was like, I don't remember what the exact thing was. I think it might have been a phone game that was also ported to PC, because I remember it was like you just one button to like switch directions and one button to like jump or whatever.
Yeah, I remember which one you're talking about. But yeah, and these games are usually hella hard, so this could go either way depending on how well it controls.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the level of difficulty that Super Meat Boy is. So
it's the main reason I've never really gotten into it. This still looks like a little fun because for some reason I'm better at it when it's a 3D thing. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I guess because I think it's because I can understand the spatial jump a little better that way. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's coming next year. So, sure. I mean, if it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot. Super Meat Boy is not my cup of tea, but we'll see.
But I'm glad it's this franchise that's lasted as long as it has.
Yeah. And then before we take a break, we'll do one more. We got a new trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4.
I'm really happy that Ninja Gaiden is back.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Ninja Gaiden 3 did not do super well. It just I thought the franchise was just dead.
I think it's weird that we got 2 Ninja Gaiden games in development.
That's true. Yeah.
There's the side scroller and then there's a 3D one.
This one looks pretty cool though.
Will we have another Bionic Commando situation where the hyped up 2D one is the clear winner and the 3D one sucks assholes?
Who knows? Maybe the sword's his wife.
I also think I think I talked to you about this where I'm like, this whole game looks so much like Devil May Cry 4.
It
where
does.
It's like we got the new young protagonist, but then the old guy is still back again. And I'm like, don't tell me that the first half is going to be going into the Demon City, the second half is going to be leaving the Demon City. Like
That would be really funny if they did that again. It looks kind of fun though.
It looks great. No, I mean, like I make jokes, but
Who
it looks
knows
like
if it'll be that classic Ninja Gaiden fuck this shit type difficulty though.
I don't know if I've ever actually beaten any of the 3D Ninja Gaidens because
They're so fucking hard.
they were very very difficult.
But they're great.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks action packed. It's by Platinum Games. They've done pretty right by me, so I think I'm definitely be giving it a chance.
Yeah, Platinum does better more than they do worse. But when they do worse, it's real bad.
It also looks violent as shit.
Yes,
And I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that there's a lot of games in these showcases that just look violent as shit. Like, yeah, man.
show me that blood.
Give me gouts and gouts of blood. All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to finish up Microsoft. We've still got Day of the Devs, the PC gaming show, as well as Jeff's potpourri. But we're gonna start not doing everything when we come back. So stick around. Get ready to go even further fast forward in the next part.
Master Arrakis, and it will open your mind. This is your path.
And we're back. And we're still knee deep in the Xbox showcase. From there, let's see. When we last left off was Ninja Gaiden 4. We jumped back. There's gonna be some DLC for that Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, I was very excited about this because I knew there was going to be DLC, but we now know the date for the release of that DLC.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, the Order of the Giants. You're probably going to be going back to Rome, and there's like a whole new underground level with a bunch of new stuff about the Giants, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, I got to find out about the New York Giants.
Yes. I enjoyed Indiana Jones, and it seems like it did pretty good for Microsoft and Machine Games.
It did very well from what I hear. And the DLC, it's the only thing that's weird about the DLC is there's no separate not Game Pass. What is it called?
SKU?
Season Pass.
Season
There's
Pass.
no Season Pass SKU.
Yeah.
It's just you have to upgrade to the special edition one.
Oh.
That gives you the other 2 outfits that you can get. Because there's no separate SKU for it.
Oh, well, geez, that's
It's very strange.
that's a little strange.
It's like $30.
yeah.
I think something like that.
And it's coming in September.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I love that game so much that I'm absolutely going to spend the money on it.
I probably would have liked it more. Rome was probably my least favorite of the areas in the game, so I may have liked it more if I'd have gotten like was it Cairo or whatever.
The Cairo one was so the Egypt section was so fucking fun.
But
the last section was annoying because of the boat.
yeah. So yeah, but hey, more Indiana Jones if you're into that. Let's see. From there, we got a game called Beast of Reincarnation.
So this is the really interesting one because this is one of the few non-Pokemon games
Game Freak.
made by Game Freak.
Yeah.
In fact, I wrote an article when I was still doing my video game articles. I wrote an article on the announcement for this game.
Oh, okay.
And it used to be called Project Bloom, and there was a single image for it.
Huh.
And they said nothing about it since then, and that was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So when they showed it, I was like, oh shit, it's this fucking game.
Yeah.
And no one in my friend group had any fucking idea what this was.
Absolutely abysmal frame rate.
Yes. I think Game Freak hasn't made a game for not a Nintendo game in so long. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So-
It's like a big, like, kind of like Monster Hunter-y type of thing. You're fighting, it's like a lady and a dog, and you're fighting like kind of giant, like robots and corrupted, like animals and plants and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, it's I remember being excited at the idea, but the trailer, they needs to do some work on optimizing enough stuff to make it work better.
yeah, I don't know. It was very strange, and I missed the whole Game Freak connection when I was watching it. So I was like, oh, look, it's another third-person, Asian-inspired action game with giant bosses. Hooray!
But it's made by the Polka Peoples.
Yeah, but is that a mark of quality? Like
No, but it's a mark of like an exciting new chapter in their company.
Yeah.
Because before this, the only other stuff they were known for making was that horse racing thing.
Oh yeah,
that
the
they
horse card
re-releasing,
game,
and like one other game, I think, which was that drill game. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like a DS game or a Game Boy Advance game. I can't remember, but that was also really fun at the time. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I'll check it out. Like, I'm not trying to dismiss it too hard, but I'm also not a Pokemon guy, so I'm not like, oh my god, it's Game Freak. I'm like,
I'm just curious to see what they'll do. It's like finding out fucking the people who made Like a Dragon made a kart racer.
Right.
It would just be confusing, but you're curious.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I also don't like the fact that the quote unquote like logo for the game is just like Arial bold. Like,
It's a strange thing to do.
There's no like nice logo with some art on it or anything. It's just Beast of Reincarnation.
It's like the default text you get.
Yep. It's like all the old RageSelect thumbnails when I used to just write the name. So from there, we got another trailer for Clockwork Revolution. Super into Clockwork Revolution.
This trailer had a lot.
Super into Clockwork Revolution.
It's really cool.
Yeah, real BioShock Infinite kind of looking place, but then like it's like a first person kind of action. And then like decisions matter. I don't know. In Exile is making it. We've seen this a few times before.
Yeah, things you do matter based on who you side with, or even make decisions based on other side characters doing things.
Yeah.
But there's also way more mechanics than even I expected from the first time they showed the trailer, like time travel and all this insane shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening type thing. But enough to be like, this is really cool.
The most mutton chops ever.
Yes.
The most mutton chops I've ever. Silky mutton chops
It's funny,
everywhere.
because some of them feel like evil Willy Wonka characters.
Yes. Yeah, but then they also have this kind of like kind of clockwork characters. Kind of like I don't know what, BioShock Infinite meets Atomic Heart kind of thing.
I can see that, yeah.
With just like the kind of level of insanity. You get to make a character. You get to do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like the only other thing is that it looks like another one of these kind of semi-unoptimized Unreal games where it's like everything kind of has an Unreal 5 like gloss to it whenever there's a game in Unreal Engine 5.
And there's some frame rate stuff here and there that has an issue here and there.
Yeah.
But nothing too insane.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm still interested. I don't know. In Exile isn't exactly like, oh my god, I gotta play it. It's in an Exile game.
No, but it's such a fun little trailer, and it tells you so much of the world that you find yourself just being like, I want to see more of what's going on here.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
It's kind of some Dishonored vibes too, with the kind of clockwork stuff.
I can see that
a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. All kinds of crazy gun crafting and
a lot of customization stuff.
Yeah. I found it really weird that you have this kind of brass clockwork thing, but you have like the holographic sight from every Call of Duty game on the gun. I was like, well,
it's really funny.
Bizarre.
Yeah, it's strange that you would still have that, but sure.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Also, God, what's that game I like with Troy Baker in it? Or no, Nolan North. Singularity. Singularity vibes.
It's got some of that. Yeah. Same with
time stuff.
Oh yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. Singularity.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I hope that it gets another polish pass before it comes out. But it's going to be on Game Pass.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Give it right to me. Let's see. Next up, we had a brief trailer for Grounded 2. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Oh yeah, it's the one that had the Saturday morning cartoon, the He-Man intro to it. Let's see. From there, we had Kronos, The New Dawn, which is the Bloober Team vagina helmet.
I remember we talked about this last time, and we couldn't stop talking about that helmet.
Yeah,
but I think this trailer showed a lot more like interesting stuff in it overall. Like I'm more interested now than I was the first time.
I do like the kind of biomechanical Dead Space-ish kind of vibes, but it's also got the kind of apocalypse thing going on. I don't know. Bloober showed that they could do combat in Silent Hill 2.
That's true.
And I'm like, the one thing I've been missing in a lot of Bloober Team games is some fucking combat. So, I'm really interested to see what this what manages to come of this, because I don't know. I mean, it's not a lot to say here because they've already talked about it in the past. So
Yeah, it looks really good though.
yeah. Oh yeah, right. Elder Scrolls Online has a new expansion.
You get pets or whatever.
Tales of Tamriel. You get a cat.
And there's like an event or something happening.
Seasons of the Worm Cult. I sounded really personally offended by the fact that game existed.
I did when it came up the last time.
Yeah. Don't Nod is making a new game called Aphelion that looks an awful lot like the Deliver Me games.
It does look a lot like that.
Where you play as a woman who's like crash landed and you're trying to escape this dangerous planet in a spacesuit. I'm very torn on Don't Nod games because I don't think I've ever actually played all the way through one of them.
Most of them don't really feel like they're for me, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Usually.
This one seems like it's got a little bit more action and adventure, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
It also only mentions one other character, and the way the trailer ends also makes me feel like, well, maybe that character is just fucked.
Right. Okay. One of the best things I've seen in all of E3 or Summer Games Fest, Michael, is one of the top 2 or 3. There are no ghosts at the Grand.
Oh yeah, this one got me really interested.
This one I'm super interested in. It had a nice kind of ska soundtrack. You're in a magical hotel that's like rewriting itself. It seems like there's some if I'm not mistaken, there's some kind of like power wash simulator, like
you're given
restoration stuff.
You're given a restoration gun.
Yeah,
that just like can paint and strip things and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's just fucking like there's a lot going on in this game.
I like the way the characters look. I like the soundtrack. It's very charming. It's got that kind of like putting stuff back together vibe to it. Like, kind of feels a little bit like Deathloop,
yeah,
in a weird way.
In a weird way, but then mostly because of the reveal that happens after, in the middle of the trailer.
Yes,
where there's just a big mystery.
Yeah,
of what happened to it was his dad, right? That's what it was.
I think so. Yeah,
his dad disappeared,
and then they show I love this part where they show him like spray painting like the symbol on the wall, and then like a door opens on the wall.
It's like a Beetlejuice way of opening a door.
Yeah,
and I think that's interesting.
I'm like, fuck yeah, man! If you guys can make that shit work, like hell yeah. And yeah, it just can't be overstated. Charming and also spooky and also weird and also got a good soundtrack and also power wash simulator and also that cat talks. And so
they're talking cats, guys.
Can't say enough good things about There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. This is one of the ones I kind of feel like they should have almost started with this, just because it would have started things off on such a good vibe.
Well, this is the main thing I always give Xbox, is that they've had some very interesting games, more than I think even PlayStation has in many ways.
Yeah.
Like they're allowing to have not just full on triple A games, but like games that I could consider maybe a AA type thing.
Whatever it is,
it looks fantastic.
I'm into it. Let's see. I'm not into Age of Mythology Retold expansion Heavenly Spear.
Yeah.
I don't care about Age of Mythology, but there's going to be an expansion Heavenly Spear.
Good luck to you guys.
Yep. Good job, everybody.
Spider ladies and stuff.
Let's see. After that, we got Mudang Two Hearts.
So I feel like this trailer would have been more effective if any of the text was translated at any point for me to be like, oh my goodness, things are happening.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm like, I don't really know what's the deal going on.
I don't remember this one, Michael. I'll be honest with you. I've watched too many trailers. This one is...
Well, the whole time you're watching it, you're like, so I don't know what's happening.
Right.
Like, I'm shown 3 different characters.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then I'm also shown all these like Chinese symbols and papers and stuff. And they're like, isn't that horrifying? I'm like, I don't know. I can't read that.
There's like a K-pop star, and then there's like a paramilitary dude, and then there's like a Sam
rage
Fisher
virus thing going on,
and,
possibly.
It's one of those things where there's so much that I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't understand what I'm doing here. Is it like
am I supposed to be? Am I excited about this? I don't know.
Are these classes that you can play in this multiplayer game? I don't think that's what it is, but also, maybe show me a little bit more about what's going on, because right now I'm having a hard time with my brain. My brain doesn't work on this.
There's a lot of shots that happen that I'm like, I'm supposed to be like, oh my goodness, but I don't know what any of that means.
I think it's Korean. I think it's all Korean. But
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of text that like I feel like I would be more interested in what's going on if I knew what the texts were saying.
I feel like it's a tie-in to a property that I have never seen or heard of before.
That's what it feels like.
Where I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are or what's happening. I don't know who this blonde lady is. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know why everybody's shooting everybody. And there's also rage virus and night vision and stealth. And what? I don't know, man.
That's like, are these 3 characters or 2 of the same? I don't know anymore.
Yep.
This is a strange one. Very strange one.
Yep. It is.
I won't really know until there's more to it. Really.
I'm interested, but I'd like to know more. So, let's see. Planet of Lana is getting a sequel. That's the one where you play as the kid and the little monster, and the robots took your family. So,
and they made another one.
They made another one where you're going to go to different worlds and you're going to explore different opportunities. Sounds good. Let's see. Solo leveling. Oh God, fuck off with your fishing mini game.
The fishing mini game for Fallout 76. It's just a big fishing.
The only thing I
commercial.
like about it is the name.
Oh yeah,
because it's gone fishing, like nuclear fission.
Yeah, and you can make like a fish restaurant or some shit.
I don't know. Fucking whatever.
Good for you guys.
Solo leveling, Arise, Overdrive. I don't want to play. I don't want to play one of the overpowered protagonist games ever after our experience with One Punch Man.
Well, the thing that makes it really funny is that it's a co-op game.
Right.
So the name is like a paradox.
Right. Yes. It's like 4-player co-op or something. And it's like, I don't want 4 of the solo leveling. The whole point is that it's solo.
Yeah. It's solo leveling, guys. It's in the name.
Yep.
It's not like, come on, guys.
I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. Let's see. We got, wait, what happened?
I forgot what this is called, but I called it kind of Power World type thing.
Oh.
Because it's a trailer about like...
It's like you play.
It's like an adventure Pokemon game almost.
Oh yeah, that's right. You like merge with them or something, and then you can like you can go into
the travel and stuff.
Switch between. Okay, well I totally lost this one on my list.
I forgot what it was called already. I thought it was going to be a Power World game, and then it turns out it wasn't.
It looks like Power World. I don't know.
Like even the song sounded like they were saying Power World.
Yeah,
but then it wasn't what they were saying.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is you remember that weird Korean game with the babies?
Yes, actually.
I haven't seen that game with the babies in a long time.
I haven't seen it in a while either. My friend said this game looks like a game an AI made too, and I actually absolutely understand that.
I could see that. More people jumping on the Power World bandwagon of like, yeah, well, we're gonna follow the serial numbers up Pokemon too.
I forgot the name of it already.
Me too. Animo. I don't know why it isn't on my list. I have everything else on my list, but I didn't have Animo. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. Sure. I mean, we already know that's coming out. It's like, here's another trailer for that.
It's basically a launch trailer.
Yeah. Let's see. We got At Fate's End, which is the new game from the Spiritfarer folks.
Oh, yeah.
I actually think this looks really good. Like, they do really good animation.
It looks really interesting because of everything going on with its world.
Yeah. And it's kind of a little bit more of an action game, which, like, Spiritfarer was not.
No, it was not.
But yeah, it's like there's a couple of different protagonists and it's kind of a side-scrolling action game with the Spiritfarer like animation style, like very fluid, nice animation. I like the way the characters look, and then there's also kind of like a little, I don't know, what family tree kind of cards unlock kind of thing.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like the exact kind of game that I want to play on Game Pass.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
it's exactly the sort of game that I don't want to have to pay full price for. So, but yeah, it looks. It's got a very nice art style. Yeah,
very interesting stuff.
2026. Oh wait. Oh
yeah, this is the Gears thing.
Yeah, I just at some point in here. They have the I'm trying to make sure that I didn't miss it because on my list the next thing is the Persona 4 thing.
No, that's
and it was like 5
seconds
seconds long, so I didn't want to make sure I didn't jump past it.
No, I think that's after this.
Yeah, Gears of War Reloaded coming to the PlayStation and the Xbox.
They remastered the remaster.
And
put it on PlayStation.
Michael, did you play the remaster?
I tried, and about midway, or not even midway, about midway me trying,
yeah,
I realized I don't think I like Gears of War.
Yeah.
And I just stopped immediately.
Well, what's also really really weird is that they showed this, but then they didn't show anything from the prequel.
No, yeah, they didn't show anything for
that People Could Fly are making. So
I think it's just because this is coming out for everything.
Yeah.
And they wanted to talk about the fact that, it's got crossplay, it's been up-res to hell, it's got all this crazy shit.
60 frames
It's also
per
been
second.
brightened up quite a bit compared to the
4K.
normal one.
That's all right. I don't mind if they turn the contrast down a little bit.
Like I said, I tried doing Gears of War, and I realized about midway, I'm like, you know what? I guess the series just isn't for me.
Yeah.
It really just isn't.
I went back and tried to play the first one, and I didn't really care for it. So but
I'm happy for the people who stopped playing on PlayStation but wanted to play Gears of War again.
yeah.
Or stop playing the Xbox, sorry.
Let's see. Then we had the Persona 4 remake. It's kind of a shame that this got spoiled because I knew that it was a thing, and then when they showed it, the trailer is like 4 seconds.
Yeah, they don't even show any of the characters type thing.
They show the main character walking like on the street very briefly, like running and turning, and then they show the front of him, and then like
if we had not known about this and this came out, this very small trailer, I would have lost my shit.
Yep.
Instead, I was like, oh, everybody knew this was happening.
Yeah.
I was really bummed that this trailer was only that long.
Still looks good. I mean, they've been doing the remakes, and this looks as good as the Persona 3 remake. So show me more.
I'm happy for that's happening.
Show me more.
And it'll be a Game Pass game.
Let's see. From there, it's just Sea of Thieves. I don't
the
care
new
about
Sea of Thieves season.
Be a smuggler.
Up to 17 seasons.
Sure. Yes. Then we got an Invincible game.
I was only slightly bummed by this originally until I found out what was going on with it.
Yeah, it's Invincible versus, and it turns out that it is a fighting game. So
yes, it's a 3v3 tag fighting game.
Yeah.
But I found out the reason I got undisappointed by it, because I was originally disappointed by it, was that it's being made by the people who made the Killer Instinct reboot.
Okay.
And so a lot of people are very excited because of that very reason.
I mean, I think I would like to just play a regular action Invincible game.
That's what I was wanting, and then that's why I was originally disappointed.
Yeah, because so far they've had like a bunch of like visual novels and card games and gotcha bullshit, and I would like to just be able to fly around and punch stuff and play an Invincible game, even if it was like a spin-off where you're playing another character. But this is like a close second.
Yeah.
It's not an arena fighter. It's not a card game. It's not a visual novel. It's not a farming game. It does allow you to do violent shit in the Invincible universe.
Yeah, you can you can fatality your opponent, straight up.
Press a button to punch somebody's jaw off. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked more freedom than what you're giving me, but this is acceptable as a compromise.
And Skybound released an email like right after the announcement, so I saw it was essentially a press release for it.
Yeah,
and it had announced in there something I was very excited about, which is that it will have an original story mode.
Oh, okay.
That will be written by, I assume, Kirkman, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it just said Invincible series writer, so I don't know if that's him or not.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back to what I said last time, though, Michael. Also, it's got so much fucking blood in it, and I'm like,
so much
yes. Like, I would hate it if they sanitized this and made it fucking Dragon Ball Fighters. I just like, one of the things about Invincible that makes it Invincible is how fucking violent it is.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, yeah, give me the fucking violence.
Like it's not Injustice where they're like, well, there's blood sometimes, but not really. It's like, no, there's fucking so much blood from people getting punched in the face.
Yep.
And I'm actually pretty excited about
that. And the fact that it's just every character after they've been playing the game, like their arms up to the elbow is just coated in blood. Like,
it's actually really exciting. And yeah, there's just straight up fatalities. And my favorite thing about when they showed it is it said world fucking premiere and just caught everyone off guard.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But I'm very excited, very, very, because there's been a lot more released about it through fighting game channels, so I'm very excited for it.
Okay, so our excitement level is good. Our excitement level is good. I'm not going to not talk on the podcast. Our excitement level continues to be good because next up we've got fuck off with Final Fantasy.
Well, it was a little exciting because they shadow dropped Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like that day for Xbox players.
Which I should be a little bit more sympathetic about because I'm like, dude, fuck that. I already played that game 2 years ago. I don't give a shit.
But every Xbox person hasn't. So,
right.
And I assume PC. I don't remember if it's a PC as well. And then the 7 remakes are going to finally come to the Xbox.
Yes.
Correct. Or the Xbox Series X correctly.
Next up, we finally found out what Tim Schafer's been working on.
Me and you have been talking about this for years because we kept going, where the fuck is Double Fine?
Right.
They bought them so long ago.
Well,
they came out with Psychonauts 2 and then nothing ever again.
Yeah.
And then this game.
Keeper.
I was completely caught off guard by what this game was.
Yep. You play as a giant sentient lighthouse with a bird pal walking around in this weird fucking Psychonauts looking like area. It's not Psychonauts, but it just has a kind of
it's got that
weird
sort of look to it.
Yeah, look to it. And you're having an adventure. You're a giant walking lighthouse walking around having an adventure. You got your little eyeball. You're looking at stuff and walking around and okay, great. Yes, this looks like the kind of crazy ass Double Fine Tim Schafer bullshit that I want. Like
it's so fucking fascinating, and I'm very curious to see how this game will end up being.
Yeah, whether it's a stacking or whether it's a Psychonauts.
Yeah, we'll see how we'll really know more as time goes on.
I would, hey, if they wanted to just re-release like The Cave and stacking and things like that on the Xbox, I would be fine with that.
I would be too, actually.
But no, this looks great. Looks very creative and interesting and fun, and I really can't wait to find out what it's all about. So good job, Microsoft, keeping my excitement high. And now that my excitement has peaked, and it's coming out October 17th. And now my excitement has peaked. We got one more thing.
Phil Spencer lost weight.
Phil Spencer lost a lot of weight. That's our final thing.
It's the final announcement.
We got one more thing for you guys. Phil Spencer's
like,
skinny and
I'm
shit.
hot as shit now, Phil Spencer announced to the world.
Yep.
That guy definitely got an Ozempic. There's no other way. He's got no more muscle tone.
I didn't want to say anything, but last time I saw Phil Spencer, he seemed to weigh like 50 pounds more than he does right now.
Ozempic's on Game Pass now, guys. That's the announcement.
Phil Spencer's out there talking about stuff, holding Xbox, and we got a final trailer. Oh my God, what is this, Michael? It's got some like robots, and it's like kind of weird. This guy's going into a corporation. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, he's an actor. I don't know his name.
Is that Milo Ventimiglia or whatever his name is?
I don't know his name, actually. I've seen him in a lot of random shit. But I remember, like, the second I saw this trailer, I'm like, well, this could be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's like a Cortana hologram. And like there's this butterfly Milo Ventimiglia.
He was in Heroes. That was one of the main things I knew him from.
And then it's like, look at all these different robots. And then that butterfly like goes into the TV, and the guy's like, what the fuck? The butterfly went in the TV. I'm going to touch that TV. Don't touch my TV, Milo. This is what happens. And then it breaks open. Then he goes into a strange world where everything is fucking creepy and crawly and weird. And wow, Michael, the world is upside down.
And
like
Nine Inch Nails starts playing.
9 Inch Nails is playing.
I'm like, I really like this atmosphere.
What is happening? This looks like a game I want to play. I want to play this game. When can I play this game? What is this game? It's Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty, guys.
It's fucking Call of Duty.
It's fucking Call of Duty.
It's fucking Call of Duty.
Black Ops 7.
It's Black Ops 7.
They're up to 7 Black Opses.
Yep. What a
fucking hell!
What a letdown! What a goddamn deflation of my boner!
Huge letdown.
You just let all of the air right out of my boner. Like I don't know what to tell you, Microsoft.
I'm happy for your Call of Duty peoples, but you all knew Call of Duty was going to happen again.
Yeah.
So.
What happened to my chat?
I just wish this fucking... It's just that it was such a cool trailer.
It was.
Only for it to be Call of Duty.
Well, nothing about that trailer indicated that it was Call of Duty.
No, not until the last second.
Yeah. Like, I know that there were, like, robots, but there are robots in a lot of games. But then, like, when he goes into the TV and there's, like, the creepy other world and you've got the Inception, I'm like, that's not fucking Call of Duty.
No.
What is that?
It wasn't until the Russian guy showed up and I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah. So, yep, then that's how they ended it.
I was very upset.
Was with Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and we were all like, fuck. Okay. Well, we got a little bit of time, and we've got a few other things to go over, but we also got a full-on Outer Worlds 2 Direct, and then an Grounded 2 Direct. The craziest thing was that the Grounded 2 is being made by Eidos Montreal.
Really?
Like, they talked about how Eidos Montreal teamed up with them to make Grounded 2, and I was like, the the Deus Ex guys.
That is very interesting.
Because they're working on Outer Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Like Obsidian is working on Outer Worlds.
Also, I love Ben Schwartz. He's such a great fucking actor.
He was very funny in this. I liked him quite a bit.
He's also a really huge gamer.
Yeah.
Every time he's on Game Grumps, he beats whatever game they do, no matter what. Like he went through all of Castlevania 4
wow.
in one sitting with them.
Okay.
And even like in all these crazy games. It's insane. The guy loves games.
This is like what I would have expected out of a Devolver thing, because he's like the CEO of New Ideas or something like that in this whole thing.
I love Ben Schwartz. He's a national treasure.
You think you didn't actually watch all of this?
No, I started it, but then I had some stuff I had to do that day.
I think this game looks really good. You're playing as like an Earth agent that's coming because two of the corporations in the Outer Worlds have like merged. Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice have merged together into Anti's Choice. And then also there's these giant like reality rips that are happening where and nobody knows why. And so you're out there to try to figure it out and you decide who you're going to side with. They said that they're bringing back a lot of the... they show this brief thing where it's like, oh, if you have a strength thing, you could yank this door open. But if you have an engineering perk, you can like grease up the side and then like bang on it and the door will open.
Oh, that's really fun.
They're bringing back a lot of the kind of stat stuff. They said they're bringing back the dumb perk, which is nice.
Obsidian really knows what they're doing, and I love them for it.
Like, to sum all this up, it's just like they took everything from the first one, and then they're really changing it up. But then like they started talking about the perks, and the perks were so interesting because remember the first one, those were the things that would like come up randomly when stuff happened, and you could like choose them. Well, and I think that some of them are like things you can choose from the very beginning, but like one of them was called like kleptomaniac, and it meant that you could sell anything that you stole way easier. But sometimes in the game, if you look at something, you just pick it up. and the example they show is you're in the middle of a store and there's a gun, and you just like look at it and it just goes to your inventory, and they're like, thief, and then start going to hit you. They have a nice little subsection where Ben Schwartz basically, the Key and Peele sketch where they're doing Gremlins 2, where it's like it's in the movie. It's kind of like that, where they're talking about some of the stuff that can that you can have. One of them that they said is called bad knees, because they're like, what about you? What's a perk that you, or what's a thing that you have? She's like, I have bad knees. It's like, it's in the game. And they talk about how it's like, it's a thing where you are able to crouch walk way faster, but every time you go into or out of crouch, you go, ugh. So it alerts everybody around you.
That's incredible. Oh my goodness.
There's one that's called
You get a fatty grunt?
Yeah. You get a dad noise.
I love that so much.
There's one called Sun Gazer where it's like you get like some kind of bonus to aiming or sight, but then like everything has a corona on it the entire game.
Goodness.
Like but yeah, they showed a lot of stuff. It looks great. It looks really good. This is where they're doing that part. I really like the first one quite a bit. I can't wait
that
to
was
see
the
what happens in
reason
second
everybody
one,
was like worried the second one was going to come out on anything that wasn't Xbox related.
Yeah.
And now I was just like, I was reminded that that's not a case anymore when I saw the PS5 thing.
This is when they have the bad knees. You can see when they stand up, and then everybody just like turns around to attack them because they go, ugh.
That's incredible.
And this is the kleptomaniac where you're just looking at the thing and like, oh shit. So
that's incredible.
It looks great. It looks funny and silly, and also
it's really
interesting.
cool. I'm really happy that that's the idea of this game.
Yeah,
because that's the thing about Obsidian is they were the wackier side of the way Fallout is remembered for.
Yeah. So they kind of showed a little bit at the end where they showed this thing, this bridge you have to get across, and there's like 18 different ways to do it. So yeah, so that was it. They also showed off Grounded 2, and I'm not going to spend too much time on that because we do have some more stuff that we need to look at, where Grounded 2 is in a park as opposed to a backyard.
So fun fact, I didn't know Grounded 1 had ever finished.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So when they announced Grounded 2, I'm like, oh, they finished the last one.
Yep.
And it had an ending.
Grounded went all the way to the end. And then Grounded 2, like I said, it's taking place in a park. It's got it's bigger. It's got more stuff. They have... let me just think of what I can think of off the top of my head. They have bug mounts, so you can have an ant or like a spider mount that can
fun.
help you do help you do attacks and stuff. They did show off. It was interesting. There's a level where there's like an old like a freezer from some guy that was selling ice cream that's like kind of tipped over, but it's been still plugged in, and so there's like an ice level
that's
where you're
fun.
like going across a bunch of spilled ice cream and stuff.
That's really cool, actually.
They've got some new types of bugs. They've got some new types of like interactions that you can do with the co-op and stuff. I thought Grounded 1 was good. I was waiting for it to go into 1.0, and then when it went in 1.0, I think it was like 2023 when everything was out, and I was like,
I think that's the reason I never noticed, because there's a lot of stuff that came out at that point.
I don't got time for you. But yeah, they talked about how there's more stats and more buffs and more character builds and stuff that you can make. And yeah, it just looks good. Like, it looks like more Grounded, and if people want that, like,
That's fun.
great. Do more Grounded. So, and that was Microsoft. Probably, I mean, like, it's not really fair to stack Microsoft up with the PC gaming show or the indie gaming show or any of that stuff, but they
But it was
probably
a
had
really
the best
good one.
showing. Like,
Yeah. I legitimately think they did. Like, the PlayStation one was pretty good, depending on what you wanted out of it.
Yeah.
But the Xbox one, I think, was good for a general audience.
yes. So yeah. Let's see. And then with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run into some of the other stuff. I need to. So for Day of the Devs, there was some pretty good stuff in here, and I think we're going to go over some of it. But I didn't. From here on out, we're looking at Jeff's picks. We're looking at my picks. I got selects, Michael.
Yeah. This is what I was saying. Like, if there's stuff that we think we missed,
Yes.
again, we're probably not going to talk about now.
Yes, because not everything in here, like, Day of the Devs ended with Toem 2. I don't give a shit about Toem 2. Like,
that's fair.
it's fine. But some of the stuff was pretty good. They had a little bit of a deep dive on Big Walk, which is the next one from the House that made Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
This is all narrated. You can see the way that their noses like get bigger. It
Yeah.
like synchronizes to what they're doing, and they kind of went over like what you're actually doing in Big Walk, where you're walking around and you're talking and you're doing stuff, but then there's kind of some puzzles to solve.
Oh, okay.
They showed off their spatial audio system, where like when people are far away, they sound really far away, and then they've got like walkie talkies. They're up close.
Oh, it's one of those types of games.
And yeah, it's like one of those kind of co-op games, but it's made for multiple people. And then they've got like kind of We Were Here style puzzles.
Yeah.
Where like one person can see part of it, the other person, and you've got to communicate with them, but sometimes you'll have to like draw a picture or you have to point, and sometimes you'll have like a walkie-talkie where you can talk to them. They also have a text-to-speech thing in case you don't want to have a microphone turned on.
This is really creative, like, at least for what they're doing.
Yeah, and it appears that there's going to be like traveling between kind of different areas, and a lot of like kind of analog stuff like maps and binoculars and stuff that you have to do to kind of see what all's going on. Yeah, at one point the guy gets lost and he just takes out a megaphone. He's like, "Hey, can anybody hear me? I'm lost. Can somebody shoot a flare?" And then somebody shoots a flare, and he's like, "Oh, okay, they're over there." It's so interesting how different it is from Goose Game.
Yeah, it's fucking night and day of how different it is.
It's also weird because all of the environments are kind of cartoony, but then all of the foliage is very like hyper realistic.
Yeah, all the outside's super realistic, but they look like ducks with giant asses for some reason. So
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
They look like there was a game called old the Cooties.
Oh,
They kind of look like the Cooties.
I can
a little
definitely say
bit,
that,
like, yeah.
yeah, I was trying to figure out a good way of explaining that, but yeah.
Because they're kind of like duck snowmen also.
It's interesting. They're like ducks. Like I said, they remind me of ducks with giant butts.
Yeah.
Because of the way they're built.
But yeah, it looks like it's a series of co-op mini games. So like think like We Were Here Together, or maybe like think of Repo, except nobody's dying.
Yeah.
But it's more about communication. Four people all playing, doing communication. Although I did appreciate at the very end they showed off like, you could tell stories by the campsite. You guys can dance, you can hang out, or you could just take your friend's binoculars and kick them into the ocean where they can't get them anymore.
That's crazy.
And then he turns, he's like, "Sorry." He's like, "Oh." At which point I was like, Jason Murphy's going to kick my binoculars into the ocean, isn't he?
Oh, he's just gonna keep grabbing things. Like, you don't need that, and just throw it somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks like a good looks like an interesting idea.
It's a great idea.
So,
especially in the day of streamers.
Yeah. And it's coming out next year. So look forward to that. This was in a few different things, but Escape Academy, there's a new Escape Academy being developed. So Escape Academy 2, as opposed to the first one, it's a little bit more, I think it's got a little bit more 3D to it than the first one. I think specifically some of the characters are, because I think the first one had 3D environments, but not like individual characters and stuff. But
It looks pretty cool.
yeah, it's like an escape room game, but then it's also like you're at a high school, so there's some like social shenanigans that go on where you meet other people and do stuff.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, that was definitely one of the ones that I liked because I liked the first one of those. This was a weird one. We got a new trailer for Possessors, which is the kind of 2D action game from the Hyperlight folks.
Oh, this one, yeah.
This was at the Devolver booth last year.
Yeah,
Or it was a
I remember
Devolver trailer set. But it wasn't this year.
No, yeah.
Like it was in Day of the Devs, and I was like, okay.
I remember this looked really interesting.
Yeah, because it's this very kind of moody synthwave, like 2D kind of action Metroidvania, or I don't even know if it's a Metroidvania, but it's definitely a like action platformer with a really distinct style to it.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that was the main reason we were interested in it at the time.
yeah, these really like kind of bright and interesting colors and interesting character designs. And I was like, oh, okay. Why is this here?
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. But yeah.
So yeah, that one looked pretty good, and that
Could
was
be cool.
coming out this year. Another Devolver Digital joint. Let's see. This was interesting. So there's a game that was called Please Touch the Artwork. That was like a Switch game.
Oh,
where they
yeah.
took artwork and then you had to touch it. And there was a second game that was called Please Touch the Artwork 2. That was another game where they took artwork and then they would use puppet animation to kind of like animate the artwork and it would kind of look for things. Well, the same guy, I don't know how this guy, I think he's getting like grants to keep making these games from like art foundations.
Yeah, a lot of games have been getting or they're able to do that for some reason.
Announced this new game called Please Watch the Artwork.
Oh.
This is very interesting. This is a spot the anomaly game where you are looking at paintings and you're trying to spot the anomaly, but he's doing exclusively Edward Hopper paintings.
Oh, wow.
So like it's all this one artist, and they're all animated, and they're like, you know, Nighthawks is probably the one that everybody knows, but then you're searching for the anomaly in the paintings, and you're then trying to identify from a list like, is there an anomaly in this painting? And then that all kind of hooks into like a meta story that he's making. And I'm like, oh, this is what I've been kind of missing with these games is Anomaly Hunter, I think is a really interesting genre that works well for a lot of different stuff. Right?
It's a fun time. Like we've played a few games where you have to pay attention to anomalies.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking fascinating every time.
Yeah. And also, the Edward Hopper stuff is very kind of like, it's very dry, and I think it makes a good canvas for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then, yeah, they showed one of these things where it's like, ignore the clown, and one of the characters just has like clown paint on their face. So, I don't know what all that is, but I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Michael, I don't think you've seen any of this before, but
I have not.
Yeah,
which is what makes it so fascinating.
Yeah. So yeah, that was another one that I thought was kind of interesting. Let's see from there. I can't keep saying how much I'm interested in Neverway.
Oh yeah, this thing.
Neverway is the one that has the artist from Celeste and then Disaster Piece doing music, and it's like during the day you've got this like life sim, growing crops, making friends, Stardew Valley, but then at night like these incredibly fucked up nightmares that become like action set pieces where you're fighting like demons, your own personal demons and all kinds of stuff, and kind of a top-down Zelda style.
And just some insane visuals.
Yes. Just very, very, very striking. Everything about it is very striking, and it's like, I don't know, we've seen it before, and they showed it off at like 4 of these shows.
Yeah. But every time we see it again, we're like, yeah, that looks fucking great.
Yes. So yeah, if you haven't already seen a trailer for this game, I highly recommend going and checking it out because it's definitely striking. It's very dark purple.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
So, yeah. And that's being published by Outer Sloth, too, the Among Us folks. Let's see. There's a game. This is an interesting game called Reloaded. So this is a game that's being developed by, I believe, a team that is actually located in Africa, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's very kind of Afrofuturism coded, and it's a heist game where you are literally stealing artifacts that have been looted from African culture into
that's
museums.
really fun.
Yeah. And so the first part is you kind of use a drone to it's like a 2D side scroller, and you use a drone to find the location of all of the stuff. And then you have a second part where you sneak in, and then once you have your objective, then you have to run out the other direction.
Because you got to plan out how you get in and out type thing.
Yeah, and then it's also got definitely a narrative focus where it's like a team of people that they're kind of planning the heist and stuff. The interesting thing that the team went over, because they talked about this for quite a while, was all of the artifacts that you steal in the game are actual artifacts that have been taken from Africa and have not yet been returned.
That's crazy.
So they're yeah, we're going to make a game about what if we could actually take this shit back.
That's actually really fun.
They talked quite a bit in the kind of developer interview about just the number of things that have been taken from African civilization and not given back that are still sitting in museums that are around the globe.
That's the thing about museums that people don't really that's the thing that everyone's turned a corner on, is that why don't you just make the museum in the place that it was from?
Right.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
That's why there's that great joke from Across the Spider-Verse. It's this is where all the British took our stuff they stole.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's a known joke now.
Yeah, but it's an interesting. I mean, it's a good concept, and I think that the game itself looks like it's pretty interesting. So
yeah.
I don't know. The main issue I have with games like this is it's oh yeah, plan the perfect heist, and it's right, but is this one of those things where if you fuck up once while you're trying to run away, you got to start over again?
It could be, yeah. That's the thing about games like that. You have to really meticulously understand where you're going to go.
What if I'm sneaking in and I accidentally hit something that I didn't catch during the first phase? Then is there a way to come back from that?
No.
Because if you have to just do it perfectly every time, a lot of games are fine with that, but I find it not to be as fun as if you could fuck up and then recover. If you have a chance to recover.
Well, that's the best thing about sneaking games that let you recover is the moment you have to improvise.
Yes,
those are so much fun every time.
Yeah. And then last, let's see. I forgot who made this. There's a game called Pocket Boss. I just need to look this up real fast. From who is this from? Playables. Yeah.
I think they're just called Playables.
I think whoever this was, it was they made another thing, I think, or it was. Okay, never mind.
Oh, Plug and Play. They're the ones who made that weird ass fucking
Kids. Yeah, that was it. They made Kids. So this is a very strange game where your boss is sending you graphs and you have to fix them, charts and graphs, where it's you've got the productivity graph and it's at 20% and you have to push it up to 100%, or revenue, you have to rearrange it so that it goes up and it looks good, or market
goodness.
share. It's a very strange idea with this puzzles made out of plottings and graphs and stuff that you have to manipulate in order to make your boss happy on your phone, and then you send them back. But then the graphs start to get weird and you fight back and get woobly and kind of strange and shit. And
that's
so,
crazy.
I looked at it, I was just I don't think I've seen a game that was about manipulating graphs before, and I think that's kind of interesting.
That is that's actually really fun.
Yeah, so that's called Pocket Boss, and I think it's in development. It's not out right now, but it's on the list. Yeah, and there's some other stuff in the Day of the Devs, Mixtape was in there, Moonlighter 2.
Oh, okay.
There's some stuff that we've Sword of the Sea. We saw that a few weeks back.
Yeah.
But it was pretty all right. I mean, it was also a little bit weird because Day of the Devs came right after the Summer Games Fest.
Oh, okay.
And Tim Schafer is the one who intros Day of the Devs every time. And yet the Tim Schafer game didn't come out until Sunday. So
That's fucking weird. I didn't think about that till now.
So, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. But we have one more part. We are going to go over the PC gaming shows as well as Jeff's other picks. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
How does it feel to be back in the saddle?
Works same as it ever was.
And we're back, and we have more. There's more.
There's so much more.
We're kind of on the downhill slope because the PC gaming show was like a total fucking catastrophe this year.
Which is a shame. I say that knowing that last year I didn't like it either.
Yeah, I've had a love-hate relationship with the PC gaming show for a long time now, but this year it was like, I don't know, they had these weird skits. There's one point where fucking...
Was it the same two people from last time?
Well, yeah, Sean Day 9 plot, and then Frankie had her kid, so she was back, and then his co-host from last time, I'm sorry, I don't remember the lady's name, she was back, but like Day 9 and the lady, they were in a room, and it was like they were supposed to be, it's like ostensibly about spy gadgets. They were both wearing suits and stuff, but then like they had a skit about eating thermal paste, and then they kept on switching back to Frankie, and she was just building a PC with this guy that they were going to give away at the end of the show. But every time they flash back, it was a mild joke and then like an ad for an AMD part or something. And
Sounds
I was like,
right.
So we're going to skip over all of that and just look at some of the trailers that I thought were interesting.
Okay.
Because who needs
Who needs bad skits?
Yeah, who needs that bullshit? So, they started off with the reveal of a game called Ambrosia Sky, which I thought was really interesting. It's kind of this very strange space game where there's like this kind of infection, like weird fungus stuff everywhere.
Interesting.
And you're playing as somebody who is going into these like infected spaces. And basically, Michael, it's like Power Wash Simulator where you're cleaning up the like infection from these spaces. And you're kind of got this like robot body, but yeah, you're literally just like washing out the contamination in these places,
and then you just like remove all the corpses and stuff from the place.
Yeah, and then you're also trying to figure out what happened at the same time, and it's like, oh, okay. I like the fact that Power Wash Simulator is getting into more places.
Yeah, but like more creative ways of doing it type thing.
I also think it has a really nice art style. It's got a very kind of striking color palette, and then
it's like an
2D
indie
art.
It kind of reminds me of the way Prey looks sometimes.
I can see
more
that.
indie, like, if that makes sense.
Some of these like little portrait things remind me of Disco Elysium.
I can see that on that one. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting concept. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool. That's a nice way to start things out.
It's a really cool idea,
yeah. I wish it was like that. I wish it was as good as that the entire time through. Let's see. Some of these I only watched very briefly, but Terminal Brigade.
Oh, it's got NULL.
Yeah, is like an action, a big kind of like hyper like neon drenched action adventure where you have a bunch of like supervillains that have been reformed and you're going out and doing stuff and action adventure kind of blasting on stuff. It looks very like stylish and the camera won't fucking stop moving for one goddamn second.
Fucking hell.
Well, I remember when I watched it, I was like, I think I might be getting a little ill watching this. Like, you guys need to like make that camera stop moving just for a minute. Like,
there it goes. Then eventually there's gameplay, so that's good.
Yeah.
It looks kind of fun.
Yeah. It's very stylish. It's got a lot of kind of like mecha kind of inspired stuff on it and some nice character designs. I don't know. I think it looks pretty good.
They could be cool.
Yeah. I think it also, a lot of these had demos because they were on the Steam Next Fest. Moomin Troll was kind of interesting. This is kind of a cozy game where you've got a little like dog character and you're kind of walking around this snowy place. It's got very nice like animation and very kind of wintry, cozy style.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what you're doing in the game, but I did appreciate that the art style itself was interesting enough that I was willing to...
It looks like it's from something. I don't know, though.
Is it a thing?
It might be. I feel like I've seen that
Moomin
dog thing before.
cartoon character.
Yeah, I've seen that guy in a bunch of he
It's
shows up
Swedish.
He shows up in a lot of memes for some reason, but I know some people who've actually from Europe who've mentioned him before.
The main character in the Moomin books by Tove Jansson.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I was like, I swear I know that fucking little guy from somewhere. Hey, I'm not crazy. That's good.
Oh wait, is the guy? What is this guy? Isn't that the guy from The Last Unicorn?
I'm not sure.
Looks like the guy from The Last Unicorn. Anyway, sorry, nobody can see my screen, so it's not making a big deal.
Yeah, he's like a white little dog horse thing.
Let's see. We also got a new trailer with a release date for Kaizen, a factory story. This is another one of those kind of like building a factory to assemble items. It's kind of
you do it like based on the sequence, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to put together
like
a little program
yeah.
about like putting stuff in places and welding and cutting and stuff. But you're building like kind of very mundane things like little mechs or like computers or phones, and it's all kind of like 80s inspired.
Yeah, when he said little mechs, they're like toys, not like an actual mech,
like Gunpla.
Yeah,
and then you're trying to kind of like optimize, and then there's also little like mini games where you've got workers and stuff. But I don't know, I like the idea. Like one of the things that was early in that trailer was like sandwiches. Like you're putting two pieces of bread together using like metal arms to make a sandwich, and it's coming out pretty soon as well. I guess it's July 14th.
Okay, that's not that far away.
Yeah, so not too far at this point.
That makes me want to watch Gung Ho for some reason.
Gung Ho. Yeah, kind of interesting. Wait, what was the actual release date? Wish list now on Steam. Where's your release date, Kaizen? Oh yeah, July 14th. Yeah, okay, we'll make sure. Let's see. From there, there's a Pathfinder game. Pathfinder Abomination Vaults, which is like a kind of little like ARPG where you kind of group of
all
people.
The rage.
Yep. Kind of going down into these big vaults and like working together with a little team.
I feel like a lot of indie games are just ARPGs nowadays.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy way to go. I think that some of this is trying to cash in on like that Baldur's Gate 3 energy.
I can see that.
Of like kind of hanging out with your friends in the Underdark doing stuff. I don't know a lot about Pathfinder, but I know that when this came out, there was a few folks in the Discord that were very excited. So I wanted to mention it just because I don't know. To
looks
me,
good. Yeah,
it looks like a pretty reasonable ARPG. I don't know. They put out that new Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance that was ostensibly kind of a similar thing, and it just fell flat on its face. I feel like this is probably going to get better upticks, better adoption than that. So
I think people really like it.
Yep,
because it looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good
for what it is.
Let's see, Barotrauma, which is a game that's been on my list for a little while, but I haven't actually played, which is like a submarine horror game.
Oh yeah, we talked about this a while back.
Yeah, it's getting an expansion called Home and Harbor where you can build bases.
Okay.
So it's not just the kind of like trying to survive forever. I don't know how exactly it's going to be integrated. They kind of had a little cinematic trailer where they were kind of zooming out through a base and then kind of showing the briny deep full of like weirdos and craziness and violence. Again, I've heard an awful lot of good stuff about Barotrauma, so maybe when this comes out, it'll be like a good excuse to dig in.
Yeah,
it keeps coming up on lists of like horror games that are very well regarded. So
okay,
I kind of had my eye on it for a little while, but yeah,
nice.
Let's see. We got another trailer. This is one we've heard about before. No, I'm Not Human.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to play this game. It looks so fucking weird and gross.
That's the best thing about PC gaming is they're allowed to make some fucking weird shit.
Yeah, that's the best thing about indie games. Yeah, this is like a world where there's like these weird imposter people that look like off.
Yeah.
And they all want to like come into your house and kill you, and you don't want to let them in. I'm not entirely sure how this game is set up, because like, well, just don't let anybody in your house, like weird looking or not, nobody's coming in here.
I think the idea is that some of them might be because of based on what some of the dialogue is.
Yeah, but like be the bad guy in a horror movie and just say nobody's coming in here.
Yeah.
Get off my property.
Yeah, that is the thing. There's like people give those guys shit, but when realistically, I'm like, no, I get it.
Yeah,
you would be like, fuck that guy.
Well, I've seen zombie movies. I know how many people are like hiding a bite until until they get just fucking go
love that
berserk.
joke in
Like,
Community. They're like, you guys always hide it because it's just like, well, I thought I was special. You always think they're special.
but yeah, the art style of this game is so fucking off-putting, and I can't goddamn wait to play it. Like,
It is
it's
fascinating.
so interesting, and I really am glad that it's a thing. Because even though it's very simple, it's very very distressing. So yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. Let's see. From there, we had a game called Forever. Oh wait, did I really open? I might have opened the wrong thing. Did I open the wrong thing? I think I opened up the wrong thing.
okay.
Yep, I opened up the wrong thing.
It's got some Zelda shit in it.
Yeah, it's like a 3-player co-op action adventure game. It's supposed to be inspired by like Zelda or Evo Land or things like that.
It definitely is, yeah.
This is one I opened on accident. Again, this is the watchword of this particular Summer Games Fest. This looks fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this. I'm not especially excited by it. Like, it doesn't do anything for me, but
But it looks kind of fun.
it's not offensive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not pissed off at it, but I'm also not interested in playing it. So, let's see. What I meant to open was a game called Mandrake that is I only picked like 1 or 2 farming survival games, but this one has a really distinctive art style. It's kind of got this isometric like kind of camera angle, and it's got like 3D graphics, and it's got some really kind of interesting looking stuff going on. It looks a little bit more whimsical and a little bit more weird than some of the other farming games out there. And so I don't know, it was striking. I
can see that, yeah, especially with all the little creature stuff that it showed.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. There was a certain point later on in the PC Gaming Show where I was like, okay, well, I have to put some trailers for the PC Gaming Show in here.
There's something in here eventually.
There's got to be something in here. Some of this I like. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea, and I definitely think it's an interesting art style. So
That's fun.
yeah. It also looks like it's got a little bit of a dark edge to it, which I like. Demon School is something that we've heard of before.
Yeah.
It's the throwback to the old like Persona 1
That's
action.
right. I remember now, yeah.
Yeah, where you're going to like Demon High, but the action on it is in like a big grid, a lot like Persona 1 was. But then it's very Persona 1. It's like you during the day you're going to be like hanging out with your friends and going and doing stuff, and then at night you go to the demon world and you fight demons. Great.
Really cool.
Like,
yeah.
thank you. Just, I'm tired of coming of age stories that don't have any punching a demon in the face of them. Like,
I'm always surprised there aren't more throwbacks to older RPGs that are weirder than just Final Fantasy, 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Type things.
They show a lot of the kind of mini game stuff in here. They've got like a little Outrun style game. I like the fact that you're buying stuff from Van Man, who's just like a creepy looking dude with a van.
Yeah.
Everything about this looks great, and I'm really interested in playing it, especially because I didn't ever play the first Persona.
I only know a handful of people who did, and they're very interesting games.
And this
Especially
coming
because
out.
they have demons and stuff that never appeared again because they were dick shaped.
It's also coming out for everything. Unfortunately, it looks like it is going to be an Epic Game Store game, so it's not going to be on Steam, but Xbox. Oh no, wait, Steam's on there too. Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, Switch, everything.
Oh, it's going on everything. Okay, nice.
So and summer
Soon.
2025.
Very soon then.
Yeah. Next up, we got a game called Garbage Country, which is what
Forget it, Jake. It's Garbage Country.
There's so many jokes about Garbage Country. Yeah, this is like a post-apocalyptic, like Wall-E game where you're like collecting stuff and you're upgrading your you got like a little kind of Jeep, but then you're also doing like a tower defense game where there's like you'll go to an area and you'll hook up your Jeep, and then it's like while you're collecting stuff, you have to set up like turrets to keep these little automated robots from fucking up your whole operation.
That's fucking weird.
And I liked it. There was what was the name of that game with the lady that drove around in the truck? You remember? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
The one that looked like Lois Griffin.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of had those vibes to it a little bit.
Yeah, I forgot what it was because we talked about it last time, I think.
Yeah.
Before that.
Except that, this one is like there's some violence and some robots.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Pretty neat.
The Wholesome Games Direct would be like, it's this game, but it's just driving around in a meadow.
Yeah, just,
if that's what you want to drive
hearing
around
NPR as you're driving
in a meadow for a while. Just think of what you think about
Think about your
life.
children or something.
There's a voxel cat on your lap. Let's see. This is a different beat 'em up game.
Oh, this looks fucking great.
This is called Spirit X Strike. This so reminds me of God Hand that I had to put it on the list.
It looks fucking awesome.
It's not quite as nuts as God Hand, but like it's a third-person action game that is doing what we wanted that last game to do, where every time you hit somebody, the fucking the camera shakes and there's all this like blasting and blapping and all kinds of fucking.
Yeah, that looks really fucking rad.
It's a little blurry, I think, because like upsampling or something. But like other than that, like I like what I'm seeing here. Also, the environments are slightly sparse, but I do like the I just like the general vibe of beating people up in a weird anime wasteland. So
yeah, it's definitely inspired by Fist of the North Star.
Yeah,
with the way some of it is too.
Yeah, and it's going into early access on June 20th. But yeah. This one I like, Spirit X Strike.
That looks really cool.
You know what I was disappointed didn't show up this year? Mariachi Legends didn't show up this year.
I am surprised that it didn't show up.
I had to look it up.
I assumed it would have,
Yeah.
especially because there was a Latino showcase or whatever.
Yeah,
Right?
Latin American Game Showcase. I got like 8 trailers from it, but
so
no
weird.
Mariachi Legends.
That's fucking weird.
Let's see. Stars of Icarus is a co-op. This is from the people that make Guns of Icarus. That was like the airships that were fighting each other.
Guys, you got to stop naming ships after Icarus. We all know what happened to the guy. So stop it.
Guns of Icarus was that. This is Stars of Icarus, and it's a spaceship one.
Okay.
And like with everything in my life, Michael, I love spaceships, but I don't like online multiplayer. So I'm kind of torn because it's also very like 90s anime inspired.
Yeah,
like,
I could tell with some of the character models.
And so it's like I kind of want to play this. But I don't want to play it against other people. I don't know.
That is the downside of a lot of gaming nowadays. Is somebody makes something really interesting and you're like, oh, so it's only multiplayer. I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah. So I don't know. It looks interesting. I would like to check it out. Who knows? Let's see. Pigface is a very weird like grungy, gritty hitman game where you play as like a filthy fucking, I don't know, everything seems like it's in a trailer park. It reminds me of that game was that one where you could control the sniper bullets?
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't
Children
remember
of the
name
Sun
either,
or whatever.
yeah.
But it's like the super lo-fi, like killing people and killing people and killing people, and apparently it's kind of immersive simi where you can kind of choose how you want to do it. Apparently it's got some inspiration from like the original Rainbow Six, and that you've got a lot of different options.
So you're just like a low level hitman, but you're not like, you know, nuanced hitman
right
type thing.
Well, also it appears that everyone that you're hitting lives in like some kind of weird trailer park or a building full of boarded up windows and shit. But I like how grungy and lo-fi it is.
That's really fun though, and
I'm kind of interested in knowing more about it. Also, I really like the name because there was a band I liked called Pigface. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Again, if there's one theme for what Jeff likes in the world, it's violent video games. So also, yeah, Dread XP is publishing this, and I've liked a lot of the stuff that Dread XP has put out recently. So.
That's fair. Yeah.
Let's see. This is another game called TerraTech Legion. So TerraTech is like a game where you use voxels to build little cars and stuff.
Oh.
And this is Vampire Survivors.
I was about to
version of
say,
that.
it just looks like that.
Yeah, where you build the custom vehicles, and then you take them out. You see how long you can survive against like huge hordes of enemies. And I'm like, okay, so Vampire Survivors in a car, I can get down with that.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna really customize it. So there's gonna be a lot of people like sharing fucking tips and stuff online.
Yeah, looks great. Looks like an interesting take on that genre. I'm glad to see that folks are doing good stuff in here. So
That's really cool.
Yep. Next up, we have a game called Paralives. Paralives I thought was really interesting because this is another Sims competitor.
Really?
Where you make a little character and you can build your house and you can like put furniture in it. It's very adaptable. And I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of this one before.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like cell shaded in it, but it looks like a pretty fully functional Sims style game. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, what the fuck? How did I not hear about this before?
And it's out December
Everybody's
8th.
really detailed looking.
Yeah, like it's a great take on that. And like the houses look really nice. The characters are nice and cell shaded. They've got a lot of like expressions and interesting stuff. And
Maybe it's like a customization thing. Maybe they limited the character customization.
maybe I don't know. All I know is that
This is kind of cool.
The Sims needs a competitor.
It needs a really good competitor. There's been a lot of people trying but failing, but this
Yeah.
looks kind of cool.
Yeah, and the characters look really nice with the way they're little cell shading on them and stuff. Also, Mom is crying in the bathroom again, so you know.
Yeah.
But I watched this and I was like, as I started to realize what it was, I was like, oh, this is a fucking Sims. Like,
Yeah.
What? How have I not ever heard of this? Who the fuck is
surprised by
making
this.
this? So
Yeah, and this is the release day trailer. I mean,
Yeah,
this
December
is-
8th.
Had other trailers before.
I guess maybe I just skipped them, but
It says it's early access still on December 8th, so
yeah.
maybe it's just new. I don't know. That's
Hey,
interesting.
Start small and build up. Like Sims
works.
fans will take that shit.
That's how
so.
Sims 1 was. You didn't actually go anywhere for a lot of the Sims 1.
I mean, hell, I tried playing Inzoi and I couldn't get Jeff to do anything in Inzoi, so maybe I could get Jeff to do something in Paralives. Let's see. From there, this is a really strange game called Militationer.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Okay, so this is an immersive sim where you are in like this weird kind of Eastern European apartment block, and there is a giant police commissar that you are trying to escape from and not get caught by, and he keeps reaching down with his giant hands to fucking pick you up, and you've got to like try to get around him, and sometimes he goes to sleep and you can do stuff. It's so striking. You have to see what I'm talking about, because he's the size of like,
Yeah, when he says giant, he's not like, it's not like a sentinel. It's like,
it's not even kaiju size. It's like mountain size.
it's like a god is literally just watching you in a cop uniform.
Right. It's like a Ukrainian military policeman.
Like that sucker is gigantic. It's like, okay, actually, you know what? It's like Galactus at like one of his max heights.
Yes.
Like just ridiculously fucking huge.
Like his head is in the clouds.
Yeah.
Like, and you've got to worry about doing shit that's going to make him try to reach down and fuck your life up. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
That is horrifying. And the fact that he's so mundane looking is also what's fucking weird about it.
And he has no
Because it's not like he's like a demon or something. It's just
Right.
like a cop
Yeah.
with a tiny mustache
Yep.
and a flashlight watching you.
I don't know what's going on with this one. But
This is fucking fascinating.
It's interesting. It's,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
interesting that his thumb is as big as a building. So,
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That is striking.
Michael, we already know about this, and I've generally been skipping those, but we got another Dispatch, trailer.
I'm actually really excited for
There's
Dispatch.
a demo for it on Steam, and I keep looking for a place to put it in the lineup. But I don't want to load up with too many demos.
It's
But
an Aaron Paul game.
yeah. But I really think this looks great. For anybody who doesn't know, you're playing as a guy who's dispatching kind of weird miscreant heroes out to do jobs in the world. But then it's got these really like well animated and well acted like cutscenes.
Yeah, it's this gorgeous looking like almost Telltale like game.
Yeah.
And you choose, how he interacts with people even before he sends them out on calls, because there is an overarching story.
Yes.
About it, because if you guys don't remember the announcement, he used to be like an Iron Man type,
Right.
but instead of making his own suit, he inherited it. So when he loses the suit, he doesn't have a way of just rebuilding it.
Yeah.
So he takes this job to like with the promise that they'll help him rebuild his like armor thing.
Yeah.
But who knows how long that'll
But it looks
take while you're
great.
playing it.
I don't know. I got to check out that demo. Got to see how
It's
it
really
goes.
cool.
We also got the demo announcement for the Baby Steps.
This game is fascinating.
I thought Baby Steps. Amanda and I played the demo for Baby Steps. This is a really weird game about an incredibly socially awkward guy who just can't really interact with the world very well.
Well, he's like teleported out of his house.
Yes,
he's like worse.
He's a fail son who is teleported onto this like hiking trail, and you control his incredibly uncoordinated legs one at a time. Octodad / surgeon simulator
and he's wearing this fucking like onesie.
Yep,
that's clearly dirty as shit. So it's just
so filthy,
so weird.
I got to show you some of the dialogue from the actual game, though, Michael, because his cadence is like, finally somebody has done something where it's an awkward person doing a lot of over talking that is not the Rick and Morty style. Like, it's its own style. Anyway, Baby Steps demo is out. I think it's interesting because unlike QWOP, like, you can kind of get into a rhythm in Baby Steps where you're okay. Like, you can actually keep walking.
Yeah, I think it's because it has to be based on like how far stuff is.
Yeah,
because if you're falling down that much that often, I think it would be a pain in the ass.
Yes.
I think it's once you reach like weirder, more insane obstacles where it really challenges you.
Yes, part of this trailer was them showing him on top of this like big tower.
Yeah,
where like any misstep is going to make you fall down off the tower.
That's fascinating.
Yep. September 8th for Baby Steps. Berserker Die is an interesting game that we had a launch trailer. It's a game where it's kind of like an action, a 2D action game that you control by slapping the left or right hand side of your computer or of your keyboard, and or like thrashing your mouse back and forth in various ways. I had thought about doing a dojo for it because this game costs $3.60.
Yeah,
but I didn't know how I would do it without getting just keyboard slapping noises. Also, I don't want to slap my keyboard, Michael. I use that shit.
Well, the best way I can describe the control scheme for this game is if Street Fighter 1 used to have the way it played was the punching buttons, so you had to actually punch them.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I don't think you could record it because you could accidentally fucking hit the Windows key type thing.
That too.
Very easily.
But it's funny because this is being published by Punkle, who did Vampire Survivors. So, yeah, good stuff. Let's see. From there, this is very weird, and I'm not entirely sure how it goes, but the Playdate announced a game called Blippo Plus that is like
Blippo Plus?
Yeah, apparently I think it's on the Playdate, but it's like an ARG from outer space with a bunch of bespoke like weird variety show, alternate universe television programs that you're supposed to watch and then kind of like glean story beats from.
This is fascinating.
And apparently it's coming out on Steam, I think. The Blippo Plus is. I mean, obviously the Playdate stuff is Playdate only, but like John was trying to explain it to me, but he was having a hard time explaining it to me. So I was like, okay, sure, but it's all very weird.
What I love is that for the most part, the filter is really good on it.
Yeah.
To make it look like an old 70s TV show type thing that you would see, like, you know, like when you watch like old episodes of something that used to be on the BBC.
Yeah.
Like it's got that kind of look
to
it.
But it's coming to Steam and Switch later this year. Apparently, Blippo Plus is already a thing on the Playdate. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but
yeah,
sure.
I'm not sure either. I guess it changes the channel when you flip the crank or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, like I guess unless you have one, it's harder to describe, I guess.
Let's see. From there, we had a trailer for Morbid Metal, which is kind of an interesting game where it's like a roguelike. It's third-person action game, but I think the interesting thing about it is that you're playing these kind of mecha characters, kind of look a little bit like Warframes, but you can switch between 3 of them on the fly at any moment. So you can kind of go into combos where you're switching between different characters on the fly for different situations, and it looks really nice and stylish too. So
that looks really cool.
Yep. Also, Michael, you'd be proud because it's got a see during the combat, it's got literally a grade at the top right hand corner.
Nice.
Doing the old.
It does look really cool. Yeah, the old Devil May Cry
grading
system.
Thing. Yep.
This looks fucking great.
Let's see. From there, we got a trailer for Love Eternal. We're not going to spend too much time on this. You and I have seen this game before, where it's the one that's kind of like
this one
Celeste, like kind of a platformer where you play as a lady, and then you kind of switch up and down with gravity.
Yeah.
But then like there's all this really weird and distressing like kind of psychological horror stuff going on in between. So, which. Because I'm not really interested in the platforming part at all.
Yeah, the story is what really sells it.
Yeah, but I'm really interested in the story, so I'm wondering how like front and center that is. Anyway, that's coming out Q4 of this year. Let's see. From there, we got Voidbreaker, which is a very interesting. I don't know. This is like destructible environments. It's a run-based roguelike first-person shooter. You're making your own guns, but the like structures that you're in are these very large, very like sparse areas. But then it's also got a lot of weird shit going on. It might just be that I'm a sucker for any time games flash like semi-distressing words up on the screen while they're describing a game to me.
I can see that. Yeah.
But then if I'm not mistaken, there was kind of a part towards the end of this that was very striking where I guess maybe that was a different trailer. Sort of a character was kind of platforming through this area that looked like giant bullets or something like that. But
okay.
Anyway,
there's a lot of stuff happening on this trailer.
Very fast paced. Very fast paced. So let's see. After that, we got Eyes of Hellfire, which is the Blumhouse game.
Oh, okay. It's one of the ones they're making.
Yeah, and this is like a multiplayer horror game where you play. It's kind of like a isometric game where you play with a group of people that are kind of going into this house, and then you're using cards and you're trying to solve the mystery of what's happened here. I really like the art style. It reminds me an awful lot of the paintings from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of striking in that way.
I miss those books. They don't make them with that art style anymore.
Yeah, they don't make them so that they like traumatize children anymore.
Yeah, they make them where they're like, this kind of kiddie now. I'm like, well, fuck you. That was the whole appeal of them.
Yeah. Anyway, it seems like an interesting game for multiplayer. And I haven't seen a multiplayer game from this kind of little toned down isometric perspective before.
Especially like a spooky one.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested. Blumhouse also didn't have like their own block like they had the last time we saw them.
Yeah.
And stuff. So.
I remember last time we thought they were all like one game.
Yeah.
They caught us off guard.
Let's see. We also got a trailer for Deadwire. This is like a hacking game. It's kind of a top-down bot hacking Hotline Miami game.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm... It kind of also, it's like Hotline Miami meets Gunpoint, where you hit the hacking button and then you can kind of draw lines between stuff to create like scenarios that end up with huge amounts of murder. So
yeah, it's like the order of events type thing.
Yeah. And I really like it. It looks like my kind of like chaos.
Yeah, it looks really easy to control too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was the thing about the way the Watch Dogs games were for a bit, because it kind of wanted to be like this, but on a gigantic scale.
Right.
But it was always really difficult to really pull off the things you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So making it simple is a good idea.
Yeah. And then let's see. We got is this what I think it is? This might have been the Capture the Flag with on crack. Yeah, I think I put this in here just so I could talk shit about that. It's like Capture the Flag on crack. They use that in both trailers, and I was like,
goodness.
All right, fuck off.
Look at that fucking Blood Dragon character.
Yeah. Very 80s style.
That explains why he said that then.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's a different thing. Let's see. And then last but not least, we have Dead Reset, a Wales Interactive joint.
Oh.
So the FMV guys, they're still, I don't know how they get the budget to keep doing this shit.
I don't hate that they keep doing it.
Yeah. In this one, it's like you play as a guy who gets kidnapped to do surgery on somebody, and then when you do it, like an alien comes out and starts murdering everybody, but you're in a time loop, so then like you wake back up again and get to try the day again.
Oh, okay.
Which is good, because that means that Wales Interactive can do a lot, right, if you're trying to go through and see all the different stuff. So yeah, That I don't know.
Yeah, those FMV games are a lot of fun. We played quite a few of those FMV type games over the years.
Yep.
And some of them are some of the funniest goddamn things we've ever done.
I think the first Wales interactive game was that one where you play as the like Uber driver or whatever.
Yeah.
That Brian and I played like a million years ago.
A long time ago. And then, I don't know. I don't remember who made the one that we made that had the gas leak reveal. That had us dying.
Oh, that was a different company.
That's a different company. But that game was fucking amazing.
Yes.
Fucking hell, that was a crazy game.
Fucking, what were they called? It was like somebody and somebody. They were like
it was like a radio show that they were doing.
Yeah. And then, oh, yeah.
It was so fucking insane. We loved it. God, what a fun one that one was.
Here, Michael, let me show you what the last trailer from the PC Game Show proper was. It's this.
Wanderberg?
It's called Wanderberg, and it's like you play. It's that My Mortal Instruments where you play as a big city that runs around eating stuff and shooting at stuff. But this is the final game they showed. Like,
it's fun, I guess.
I also cut like a good 60% of the games that were in that PC Gaming Show.
It's like a Howl's Moving Castle type deal.
And, you know, like, it wasn't that bad when we got to watch the best ones back to back, but I'll be honest with you, when you were watching it, they kept going over to Frankie, who was making a PC, and I'm just like, oh my god, guys, fuck off! Like,
well, that was close to the issue I had with Summer Game Fest, where it was just like, luckily there were no skits, but it was just like, I don't care about half of these games you're showing.
Yeah,
like if it was everything we talked about back to back that we liked, that would have been amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah, that happens. But that just shows how many games there are nowadays.
True, very true.
I don't really have that many issues because the games. There's an audience for them somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I will never get mad at a game unless it's Call of Duty.
Yeah. So let's see. We do have a few more. I mean, we only got about 10 minutes left. I was just going to see about picking up a few of these from some of the other ones that were interesting. I was trying to see what else do we got here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a really interesting one. I'm just going to do that for the rest of the... Oh, you know, that was pretty cool. Oh, no, that was it. That was interesting. Oh, yeah, we should probably talk about that.
I was like, Jeff, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. No. Let's see here. Okay, I got a few from a few places. I'm trying to just pick some of the more interesting ones. We'll see how many we can get through. From Wholesome Games, I liked this Haunted Paws, where you play as like a pair of puppies that are trying to figure out what's going on, and then you kind of just wander around through the world as these two puppies investigating ghost stuff and doing puppy stuff.
I kind of love
There's
this.
literally like a you could pick whatever kind of dog you want. There's like a pee on stuff button. You're like trying
I love this. This is adorable.
Open the door, grab a stick, walking down. It's like you're in the middle of a spooky game, but these are just puppies. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like they're just walking around doing stuff. At one point, they get some hats. I was like, okay, that seems about right.
God damn you guys, you've sold me.
Co-op puppies. What if Little Nightmares just had two puppies in it? Like that's kind of what we're at. So yeah, Haunted Paws. Check that one out.
What a great idea.
I really like this Perfect Tides station to station. God, I need my description.
It's got a very interesting art design.
Very kind of like Maniac Mansion. This is a sequel to another game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I actually clicked on this one by accident. So, but
I like this one a lot, though.
It's got a very interesting art style. It's very like kind of adventure game, and you're like building up kind of these little meters in your head. Yeah, it's interesting how it looks a lot like an older adventure game.
Yeah,
like a Willy Beamish or something, right?
But it's got like an art style that kind of reminds me of Dr. Katz at times.
I can see that. Little squiggle visions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, Perfect Tides.
Expecting fucking Coach McGurk to show up.
This is one of those ones, Grave Seasons, that I really liked. Where we've seen this one before, where it's basically Stardew Valley, but also there's just like murders
Oh, yeah,
and like
this one. I remember
supernatural
this,
bullshit going on.
We were like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I started watching and I was like, I don't know, and then I kept watching and I was like, oh no, I mean yes.
Oh yeah, this was the other Blumhouse game. That's right.
Yes. No, actually, I don't know if this was Blumhouse before, because this is like publisher announcement. I think this might have been we've seen it, but now it's been picked up by Blumhouse to be.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not. I could be wrong about that.
I don't remember. I could have sworn that was what the idea was. The Blumhouse showed like a series of games, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, but it's been a while.
I tell you what,
have to
here's
look up the others.
Here's another spooky one in the Latin American Game Showcase. It was called Land Party Adventures.
I love that fucking bug.
And it's a game where you're setting up LAN parties. You're
cool.
literally setting up a bunch of old beige computers to have a LAN party, like in the back of in a school or in the back of a place.
I love the comic book shop because it's clearly like references to real things that like the Venom poster, but it says malevolence.
Oh yeah.
Violence.
But then the interesting thing about it is you keep going through this trailer and then it's like also find out what happened to your friend. Like,
wait, what?
You're like, where's Pedro, who's supposed to come to the LAN party? And then it's like you're trying to like go online and you're trying to call him and you're trying to figure out what's happening before it's too late. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That kind of that took a turn.
Because if it was just LAN party setup, I'm like, well, you just plug in a bunch of computers.
It'd be a fun, cozy time. Yeah, but that extra thing, that's kind of fun.
We got the announcement for Tormented Souls 2 as well, which Tormented Souls was that like indie Resident Evil like throwback thing.
I completely forgot about that.
Red-haired lady with the leather jacket, and now it appears that she has like either a surrogate kid of some sort and an eye patch, and they're hanging out at a church full of nuns, and then they go to sleep, and then when they wake up, it turns out that there's a bunch of creepy nun shit going on.
Of course there are.
And they took your daughter, they took your skull, and you got to go get it back. And yeah, I don't know. The first one of these had like really good reviews, and I never actually played all the way through it because it kind of ran like ass. But I'm interested. I want to see more. Let's see. This was one that I think also might have been the Blumhouse called Isla. And you're playing as like a gameplay tester for a VR game. But things are like real fucked up. Like it keeps going between different kind of action games and horror games and different styles of games. But then there's like a malevolent like AI presence in the system that's doing like horror stuff. And again, I'm a real sucker for a good horror game. So
this is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the imagery for it. It looks all weird and creepy and violent and bloody. And yeah, give me more. Let's see. We also got, this was really interesting. This was from I recommend that everybody go watch the Future Games Show because I thought it was one of the better shows that was out there. A new Expanse game.
Oh.
And it's called Expanse Osiris Reborn, and it's from Owlcat Games. And it looks like it's definitely going to be like a tactics game. Where you're like blasting your way into places, but then they show, it's all CG in the trailer, but then they show like kind of going into an area and setting down smoke and like, setting up kill zones and doing stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Which is it's an interesting idea for an Expanse game, because there is a lot of like kind of marine tactical shooting and stuff in that universe.
Since it's space, you can do like other different things with it.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Another thing from there was I'm saving that one for last. Oh no, wait, where's the thing? Okay, there was a game called Echoes of the End. So I don't know if you remember this, Michael. So I was looking at this. Oh no, wait, this is the wrong one. Here we go. This is like an action game. Call of the Elder Gods. So this is a game where you're kind of like investigating some very Cthulhu tinged kind of stuff. You're like going to different areas and you're looking around. So this is Call of the Elder Gods. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you or I played it or if somebody else. There was a game called Call of the Sea, where you were this lady
in the hat.
Yeah. This is like the sequel to that.
Oh, so that game ended up doing because we were trying to figure out. We were such a huge mystery in that game.
Yeah. We never really got all the way through, but then this one is a lot more like on Front Street about like it's very Cthulhu. It's very like Elder Gods. So
yeah, because you were looking for like your fiance or something. If I remember
they were like
correctly.
on like a trek, like in the 1930s in a jungle,
because they were like you get stranded on a boat or on an island or something looking for them.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's really cool.
They made a
Okay.
sequel to that. I like this table flip simulator, which is just a game where it appears that people are there to irritate you in this kind of world where your parents are irritating you and customers are irritating you until you just finally just go crazy and start smashing everything around you. And
That's
I'm
amazing.
like, no, that sounds about right. So,
And I love that there's seems to be a Super Saiyan power up to murder everybody.
Yes. Like where you can finally just go fucking nuts. Like at the end, your parents are like, did you get fired again? And you just flip the dining room table over. It's like, I'm out of fucking enough.
God, this game looks amazing. This is going to be cathartic as hell for people.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Where you're just throwing stuff around. This is an interesting one. No Straight Roads is getting a sequel.
I'm actually really happy about that. That game was really interesting looking.
Yeah. The kind of like music battle game where you're trying to battle for the soul of the city. And now they're taking it on the road. So the main two characters from No Straight Roads are now, I think, teaming up with like a keyboardist. And they're going on the road for a new set of adventures in No Straight Roads 2. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
That's really cool.
And last but not least, House Flipper 2 Scooby-Doo DLC. No. Okay, Michael. So this is... Everybody needs to go watch this. This is Chrysler Theater of Idols. As another Blumhouse Games game. And I was getting so tired because the Future Game Show was the last thing that I watched. And it was like this very weird... It was like all this kind of church imagery and it was kind of broken down town and very spooky kind of voiceover. And then about just like a minute or two in, the main character turns around and there is like a weird nun statue
What the fuck?
that goes animatronic and goes at them. And then this shit kicks off into high gear and it turns out that this is like a weird blood-drenched first-person shooter where you are fighting against puppets and demons, and you've used blood to enhance your guns by
Oh my
stabbing
goodness.
yourself with your guns. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? I want to play it immediately. What the
looks
fuck is this?
awesome.
This is amazing. This looks like Resident Evil, but also a first person shooter. It's like Clive Barker's Jericho, but not bad. Anyway,
This looks really cool, actually.
and it's got all this kind of I don't know.
Super horrifying.
Yeah, this kind of the interesting kind of Santa Maria kind of stuff going on in it. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? I want to play this. So
It comes out this year at some point.
yeah, Chrysler something Theater of Idols.
Oh, cool. It's on everything.
Oh shit. Okay,
Fucking hell.
I have more, but we're gonna stop there.
There's too many things, guys.
There were too many. There's too much. That's supposed to do the math. That was 45. That's 3 full hours of podcast.
A lot, yeah.
And it was all trailers.
There's so much. It was impossible to get to everything.
Yeah.
Actually, for reals this time, if you have anything you want to talk about, mention them in the comments so other people know about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is really what I meant.
And,
is really
and
what you should do.
when I'm once I go through a weekend where I'm not forced to watch trailers, because the problem is, Michael, I had to watch all this as it was happening,
Yes.
and then to watch it all a second and third time to get this podcast ready.
There was so much of it. So yeah.
So I'm a little trailered out right now, but definitely if you had interesting stuff in there. By the way, that Scooby-Doo DLC, that's a real thing. House Flipper 2 is getting Scooby-Doo 2 DLC.
Oh, that's fun.
What would you say your most excited stuff from the show was as we wrap it up, Michael?
Well, I definitely am very excited for Invincible now. I wasn't originally until I found out who was making it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm very excited for Scott Pilgrim. I'm very excited for that crystal because that thing looked fucking rad as hell.
Yeah.
Same with there was another one that you showed me that I thought was really, really cool. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
I liked Ill.
That was what I was thinking of.
I like No Ghosts. There Are No Ghosts. The Grand was interesting.
That one's really cool.
Some of them, a lot of that Microsoft stuff was pretty
the
solid.
Clockwork one was got
Clockwork
my
Revolution?
attention much more now.
Yeah,
than I think it did before.
definitely.
And then, of the other ones you showed me though, there was
Big Walk. I'm interested for Big Walk. I want to see
what
about
was
that.
the other one that I thought was really cool. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
Even though we just watched them, it's hard to remember sometimes because we just went through
just
a lot of it.
all of them. Resident Evil 9 looks like it could be good.
9. The Resident Evil
Outer
9.
Worlds 2. I think Outer Worlds 2, depending on how the release schedule for the rest of the year looks without Grand Theft Auto, Outer Worlds 2, depending on how good it is, might have a shot at the crown this year. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think of what the best stuff that's come out so far this year is, and I really like Kingdom Come Deliverance too, but nothing else has been hitting me recently. So,
well, there's the stuff that you showed me. I just remember the other one was that Was it Super Strike? Was that the name of it?
Maybe yes.
Was the one where it's like
the X one,
the X one,
yeah. Strike X, Spirit X Strike.
Okay, that's what it was. I
Yeah.
just remembered Strike did it. That's why that looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm also still excited for Baby Steps, to be honest. Baby Steps is just such a stupid idea that I can't help but kind of love that.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. The thing is that there's a lot, and it's good that there's a lot. I think there's a little too much to cover in this fashion, so maybe next year we might have to just pick our favorite stuff.
We would just have to have a list in front of us. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because even though we just talked about them, some of them are just popping out of my head because there's so much of
Absolutely.
it.
No, I right after I watched that show, John and I recorded Elden Ring at patreon.com/RageSelect, and I was asking he was asking me what was exciting to you, and I was like, man, I don't know. I've watched like 5 hours of trailers in the last 3 days. It's hard to remember anything outside of
the game with the small people. What was it? Not Grounded. The other one. That one I'm also really interested in.
It was called Infinitesimals.
That one I'm also kind of interested in.
Yes,
that one was kind of fun.
Yes. And then don't forget about Mind's Eye, our most anticipated game of the year.
The game of the year. Game of the century, they call it.
What chance does Outer Worlds 2 have when Mind's Eye is a thing? That's your joke, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, where can the people find you when you're not over here just watching 1 billion trailers with me?
You can find me on YouTube under Supermaniacs. I do a Superman podcast under there. And you can also find me on oneofus.net. We do a lot of movie television reviews.
Bam. There you go. And if you didn't hear it before, at patreon.com/RageSelect, I need money for Red Bull and coffee if I'm going to be going through 3 hours of trailers. Also helps keep the site in business, and you get a bunch of bonus videos and Discord access. So do that. That's Summer Games Fest 2025. Did you know, Michael, that while we were recording this, Konami had a thing? Talk about Konami.
There's too many things.
Too many fucking things.
Too many things.
Too many fucking things. All right, I'm gonna go pass out now. You guys all leave, but come back next week. But do leave. But do leave.